Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you happen to be in the world. Welcome to tradertv.live. North American stock futures back in negative territory to wrap things up as far as the week is concerned. Here on a Friday, we saw the S&P 500 up a full % yesterday, coming off a negative showing on Wednesday. The worst performance, in fact, on Wednesday in about 3 months for the individual markets. The NASDAQ up about 0.5% on Thursday. Looking to head back to the downside possibly this morning. We'll talk about why here coming up. We had volatility spurred by speculative buying, speculative interest coming from the retail side of things. Multiple brokerages coming out yesterday putting restrictions on trading of some of these names like GameStop, AMC, and the many others that we covered on the show yesterday. We'll talk about many of those coming up here this morning. They have gone back on those restrictions as far as trading some of those when it comes to discount brokerages this morning. We're also seeing some earnings news this morning driving the market. Visa with a better than expected report. We have vaccine news out this morning. Both Novavax and Johnson & Johnson releasing data on their vaccine. J&J, big move to the downside here this morning. We also had NVAX higher in the aftermarket yesterday, off those highs though as we head towards the open this morning. We'll talk about both of those. It's Friday, January 29th, 2021. TraderTV.live starts now. There we go. Look at Asian markets from the overnight session. Yeah, very negative right across the board here. Korea leading the way 3+% to the downside. Australia, Japan, they're 1.5%, 1.8% each. Let's go over to Europe, see how things are shaping up so far. 1+% for the most part to the downside. Once again, for European markets, we'll shift over one more time and have a look at North America here. Yeah, more red numbers coming. All three U.S. markets to the downside. TSX futures here in Toronto, 1.2% to the downside. We have Brazil open trading 1.3%. We saw a 20+% jump in Bitcoin. Yeah, 12.6% now, but off the highs. We'll talk about why Bitcoin is up so much, and both crude oil and gold having nice moves back to the upside so far this morning. Good morning, guys. It is Friday. We've made it to the end of another week. What a week it has been. More volatility, more excitement heading towards the open this morning in some of these stocks that we've been talking about all morning long. Tesla CEO Elon Musk adding Bitcoin to his social media tags, I guess. So that had Bitcoin up 20% overnight.
There you go. I mean, the Elon bump, right? And we'll see if this one holds up a little bit better than the Etsy one, which interestingly enough faded right back in. Welcome. It's not just the end of the week. It is the last trading day in the first month of 2021. And by the way it started, it looks like it's going to be an unbelievable year. Sort of happy to see, and from my understanding, there might be still a few restrictions on trading and Robinhood and other places in place, but glad to see everyone's, for the most part, able to get back in and participate in the markets. That's what it's all about, and we're going to be here trading. It's been absolutely wild. I mean, while grabbing coffee this morning, I sort of said, yeah, you know, I mean, U.S. Steel had big earnings, was up 7% at one point, and it's like lost in the shuffle. Uber was up like 7% yesterday, lost in the shuffle. And there's so many, I can go on down the line here, and there's so many things that I feel like are interesting stories, but the forefront, of course, has been some of these squeeze plays and these big name stocks. And there's no getting away from it. I mean, you know, AMC, 25 million shares pre-market already. Naked Brands, another 20 million here. GameStop trying to make some moves here off of 340. So once again, Sean, it is going to be a wild one. Stay strapped in, buckle your seatbelts, because it's going to be crazy.
Hopefully the fresh fade people are talking about here, Neil. So hopefully that brings you some luck today. We will get going here today. And yeah, BlackBerry's already up. I tweeted out some key levels there for you guys. You can follow me there as well. Follow all of us. We have our watch list out today. If it's your first time, still have my coffee in my hand. If it's your first time watching us, watchlist.tradertv.live. A bunch of names on there. NVAX is on there. Eli Lilly, blockchain. WDC, everybody's there right now. So get our watches. It's going to be a fun one. Mark Roberts coming today, Arun coming today. And yeah, I actually held on to half my position on those AMC calls. So today's a good day once again, and obviously as a crypto trader as well, today is an even better day than I thought. And I want to say a happy birthday to my main man who turns 9 today. So what's up to Baron? Happy birthday. And we're going to go skating tonight, and it should be a fun one. So I'm excited. It's always cold on his birthday in January, obviously.
It is indeed one of the cold. Happy birthday, Baron. It is one of the coldest days yet, in fact, today here in Toronto. So we're all trying to stay warm. Temperature update in the studio, guys. It's 24 today, so we're good. Let's have a look at how traders here at Day Trade the World fared yesterday. More big numbers with these volatile markets. Wow. $641,111. Number one yesterday, coming from a wide range of markets. Once again, 136 at number 2. Same story, mostly US-based stuff here. 113 at number 3. Same story. Even 84,000 all the way down to number 4. Again, all from US-based markets. Got to go all the way down to number 9 today. To get away from the 5-figure club. So huge numbers here, 641,000 at number 1. That just shows you, volatility, volume, liquidity gives you all kinds of opportunities in these markets, guys. Where do we want to go first here? Let's talk a little bit about these vaccine names. Maybe we saw a big move down from Johnson & Johnson initially on this data. Looks like it is still actually heading to the southbound side. So yeah, worse than Moderna, but let's talk about Moderna as well here. Wow, big pop to the upside on those numbers from J&J.
I hate to do this, but I gotta do this to myself. Douche. Yeah, I actually saw that little reversal in Moderna. There was a hard push back off 215, and I laugh now because I did short it right at 203 here. It took off this top. Thank goodness I didn't give it to the high of the day. But yeah, I've played these rollover plays before. Usually it's in the stock that has the actual news. This is a little bit crazy, but this week I suppose not. It's simply just getting a positive wind because of seemingly, I guess, poor results for the J&J vaccine, even though from what I saw of it, most of it seemed relatively in line. It's definitely, I would say, solid news overall for the recovery. But as you can see, Moderna continues to be, if you're going to be day trading or if you're going to be trying to take some actual, positions to get some return here and momentum, Moderna by far is the one that continues to show that it'll make monster moves, and it's just in the middle of breakout territory here. That 180, which sort of obviously come and gone, we're probably looking at like a 225, 250. I usually like the rollover play, but I'll definitely be waiting till the open to see what this looks like in just under an hour, Sean.
Yeah, we're in AMC right now, guys. We just took that 70 break right now. So I'll probably be trading all of these names today. Honestly, I mean, I didn't even look at Moderna or J&J or anything, but we are long into AMC right now, breaking through that 70. My chart only goes back to 730, so I'm going to fix this up and give you guys some bigger levels here. This is the thing, you can specify the range, right? So I'm going to specify this, bring it back down here to 530 or something like that. So this is that sort of that bottom that I was looking at right here, so 1270. So let's see if it goes. Can we get to 1380? I'm hoping so. I hope this is another big day with all of the, hopefully, letting the brokerages, letting us trade once again. And hopefully you guys can get your orders in without any problems today. And let's just go on some of these stocks as we just continue to rip higher. These are some D prints there. It didn't actually go to 1375. Here's the live level 2. I'm also watching Nokia, Naked Brands, a whole bunch. Again, I tweeted out the key levels, guys.
Let's bring in Mark Roberts here. We'll have a look at what he is checking out so far this morning as we head towards the end of the week. It's Friday. Good morning, Mark. Busy week. Well, exciting to say the least throughout the week with these names moving around. Let's get your thoughts on these vaccine moves so far this morning. J&J downside, huge move to the upside for Moderna.
Yeah, I think there was a lot of expectation that J&J's numbers on the percent basis of effectiveness was going to be higher. Personally, I think it was somewhat in line. I'm a buyer around 158. That's where my orders are going on the buy side.
As far as Moderna is concerned, is this too much, too soon?
Probably yes, but there's always that overreaction initially to news that nobody bothers to read the in-between-the-line report. So I would be a little cautious. But all of this is good in the big picture for those that are hoping we can get this whole thing behind us.
And sooner the better at that as well. We also had Novavax, one of the smaller ones, obviously not at the top end of the list as far as vaccine makers, but better than expected data from Novavax after market yesterday.
Look, you got to look at this whole thing as it's a one big package that's going to try to help billions of people. The issue is not so much the efficiency or efficacy of the drugs. They will all do their job. Regeneron, as far as the therapeutic cocktail, will assist as well. The problem is educating the public that this is the alternative that they must take. And second of all, how do you get that out to the public and make it easier for them to get the vaccine? In New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, just on a small scale of the world, you're spending hours on the internet to get an appointment. It's outrageous.
And more definitely needed as well to echo those sentiments here in Canada as well. It's taking far too long to get this done. So let's talk a little bit about some of these volatile moves that we've seen in these individual stocks this morning as well, and then all week long. You made a comment back on Monday suggesting that it will get to a point where market makers just say, nope, we're hands off of these going forward. That seems to be kind of what we're seeing here.
Yeah, I've learned from my experience, ignorance is the worst part of the conversation. Free markets work well. Why is it that hedge funds in general don't complain when the public gets pounded with their strong positions? But now you have a retail force, which is second to none, wanting to take these stocks in whichever direction they go, and all of a sudden the big boys are complaining. It makes no sense. The problem was going to be now Washington, that doesn't know the difference between a long and a short, is now going to try to do regulation, and that's always a disaster.
Yeah, couldn't say that better myself. It's a very interesting time and a very interesting situation in the market overall. That being said, is there an opportunity here, somewhere as far as the trade goes?
Yeah, there always is. Again, I look for clusters. I look for pullbacks. You've got to stay nimble. You don't know if things get out of hand because you don't know what the prime brokers and the online brokers have in their pockets as far as what is the stretch effect that's too much for them, where they'll come in and they'll decide to minimize or continue to control the flow. So from that point of view, the giddiness will change, but the trading opportunities are always there.
A little bit lighter on the earnings front this morning, Mark, but we do have the Visas of the world reporting this morning, a few other ones that obviously have taken a back seat right across the board this week as far as earnings names are concerned, with the focus so highly on these individual stocks that are moving around. What has you excited heading towards the open this morning?
Oh, I would say Caterpillar. The big names, on balance, are coming in perfectly fine. Our earnings are ahead of where I thought they would be. I'm very bullish from that point of view. And as I've been mentioning on the program, I'm looking for a 3 to 5% correction. We're close to that 3%. So somewhere around that 36.25, 36.60 on the E-minis is very bullish for me. I triggered a buy alert the other night. I did some buying yesterday.
On the earnings front, Mark, and first of all, I want to thank you for some of your words there. Everyone, quite pleased to hear your take on it. I thought it was hilarious. Don't know the difference between a long and a short. One that I thought went under the radar, and I only say under the radar because most people haven't been paying attention to, and that's going to be U.S. Steel here. And we talked about this name a couple of times. And obviously, solid earnings. They were at 1% up, 1 point up 7% there, actually, back to 7%. And you talk about the clusters, and there was one where we just bounced off of 17. I think last time we mentioned this name, this is what we were talking about. Then you get solid earnings. Is this, because there's so much room to the top here, it would be an easy thing to say, hey, why not have a look at this breaking through previous resistance at 20 even, or do you think that this is going to be like okay, consolidation around here type of idea? Because there's so much momentum to be had in this market. Fool's gold to chase it here in U.S. Steel at 20, even though it kind of looks pretty solid here for the impatient.
Well, here's the big picture. Mr. Biden talks about not wanting to deal with fossil fuels. But if you're going to use steel into all these automobiles to create the electric car, you need steel, you need U.S. steel, you need U.S. manufacturing. I'm a bull on the long end. There'll be hiccups, but this stock is not going away.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think I sort of agree with that. I'm on my ball on this level here. I'm very likely to have it at that 20 even. I still, of course, like any dips that you can get. Like it's obviously a lot of crazy action. I just want to, if I can get your advice on one thing. It was interesting to me. We saw GameStop, and of course, it's been moving all over the place. The cost of borrows are just incredibly reasonable, I will say, for us. In fact, the cost of borrows went down today versus yesterday. And I know usually when these things start to really unwind, you'll see some parabolic movement in that price action. Is there anything that you would suspect could be different in this particular case, why that might not happen, why it's continued to be so cheap and there hasn't been much fluctuation yet?
To answer your question, no, because the technology has changed the whole short game and borrowing game. So what goes on behind the scenes has become far more efficient. And yes, maybe the spreads that the brokers make is less, but they realize they make it up in the volume as well. So the answer is, it's really not clear yet.
So, I mean, what I would sort of gather from that is if the volume were to, say, die down, it would be more reasonable, or lower volume name had this type of a move, you might see that same a movement to that upside parabolically.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
So I mean, as always, thank you, Mark. I try at least once. I try to put you on the spot with something that I think you won't be prepared for, but you always have a little something there. It's moonshot time over in AMC, Sean.
No, it's not even that, man. Yesterday, Mark, I called Rocket Companies to everybody. I said, this is the next play. That was yesterday. That was at $22. And we're getting a big bump right now, Mark. This is over 30% shortable. We talked about this yesterday on the show. I lost money trading this yesterday on the show, but it looks like today it's going to go. I know we've took your opinion on some of these. Oh, yeah. And by the way, guys, we can hit the little Superman action here because we reloaded on AMC down here, 1270, and then again at 1290, taking some out. But let's try to have what they call, Mark, these young kids, the diamond hands, trying to hold these for a little bit. But what is your opinion here on Rocket? Because yesterday I talked about loving this stock. Now, I've been loving this stock because of how I trade. And I know you and I trade very, very similar. I was liking the bunched up action down here on Rocket. This is well before. Oh, and by the way, bang, we're also long Bed Bath & Beyond here through $40. That's a 50-cent winner right now. I liked Rocket Mortgage because we were building this base. This is months and months ago. I started to build the position. Well, not months and months. I guess it was October, November. I guess that's months and months. And now it looks like it's finally breaking out. I don't know if the short squeeze is going to be real on this, but do you have any opinions from a fundamental side here on Rocket Companies? I know it's a recent IPO, and I just think it was about time to get going. Earnings on Feb 9th.
The answer is, it's, how do I describe it? It's in the right space, it's digital, it's in the financial services, it's a disruptor. The answer is, it's a great, great concept.
Right.
And I think it will stay a strong concept. Whether or not there's a short interest build in it over time, nobody really will know. But it's a solid company and worth buying on the dips.
Yes, I agree 100%. Here's another one, Bed Bath & Beyond. You and I have talked about this in the past before it started going parabolic. And I remember talking about this with you on earnings back in, I don't know, was it October, November, one of their last earnings reports there before the most recent one. And we noted the short interest on this name. And today I just take that 40 break up to 41. We get out a little bit. We're still going to hold. We're still holding 80% of that one. Any opinions on Bed Bath & Beyond here? Again, I mean, it's broken out from this 26. And I don't want to always comment on all of these YOLO plays, but some of them actually have realistic stories behind them. And although I think Bed Bath & Beyond has got blown off the top here at $58, I still think that this has a little bit of room to run as well. More to the upside just based on fundamentals, retail, the reopening, things like that. A little bit different than a stock maybe like GameStop.
Yeah, so Bed Bath & Beyond's an interesting stock. I've been following it since December when it was between 17 and 18.
Yeah,
Smart
exactly.
managers that I know put their clients into it, and they exited yesterday at $48. $40 was their implied value, if you will. So most of the smart money is out of the stock. Would they buy it on serious corrections? Yes. But now it's basically fast trading and shorts.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Perfect. Yeah. I just want to make sure that was a similar idea. I am, like I said, I am long here at 40, but that's just playing the momentum, as you mentioned. Mark Roberts, thank you very much. Have a fantastic weekend, and you're gaining more and more popularity on our chat, my friends. So Sun Lake Strategies, check them out. Thank you, Mark Roberts. Back over to Brendan.
Thank you.
All right, guys, we'll wrap it up at that. We'll head into the weekend on a positive note, Mark. Have a wonderful day and a wonderful weekend. We'll speak to you on Monday.
Thank you so much. Take care.
You as well. Let's jump into what is moving around here, guys, in the pre-market. If you haven't done so already, make sure you have the watch list open. As we mentioned at the beginning of the show, we send it out every single morning right to your inbox before we come on at 8:30. We'll start off with these crazy stocks that have been moving around all week long. The list seems to keep growing and growing and growing and growing. Yeah, what's going to be the next one here? Sean just mentioned a few, but we have AMC, Naked Brands, SNDL, like 2 billion shares, I think it was, by the end of the day. AAL got squeezed yesterday. KOSS, there's EXPR, there's GBR. Take your pick. Where do we go here, guys?
I mean, right now, the old mobile here getting blown up because of the rocket pick. So I just want to thank you guys for that and for listening to some of those plays there. And I don't know how high this is going to go, but I mean, there's even people here at our office that are now long in the like $21, $22. So it's a nice little move today, up 16, 17%. I have no idea where, obviously how far this thing's going to go, but I like Rocket Mortgage. We just talked about why. It also has a 30, I think it was as of yesterday, was it 36% short interest? We can confirm that as well. So I actually wrote down, and the funny thing is, guys, I mean, if you see my tweets here, let me find it for you quickly. I put up some levels for you guys this morning, and yeah, there's Rocket. Like in my very first one, this was before the move. So 8:30, the move on Rocket started. Just after I tweeted that. That's hilarious. Like 8:31 or something. The move on. Damn it, you guys are running these plays. I love it. But next time I'm going to get long before I tweet something out. So I love Rocket. So right here, possible squeeze into earnings Feb 9th. I like that trade. I like Nokia through there. WDC, we'll talk about that for another reason. Western Digital, I've been so hard on the semis as well. And then some other key levels. And then there's that Bed Bath & Beyond that we already smoked that through 40. So we're looking at AMC. We're long there as well now. And then GameStop, of course, at 420. But look, I like Rocket. You asked about what's the next one. I just think it's Rocket Companies. I think it's, big home supply, limited home supply, big moves in D.R. Horton and what D.H. Horton, Toll Brothers and whatnot. So look, I'm a big fan of this Rocket Mortgage. And look, if you don't like the show, that's great. But look at the calls we gave you yesterday. It's been a perfect January for me. And here's a call for Rocket. You're welcome to 17% in one day. Let's go.
Yeah, I want to give some caution. There's a new entrant to this list that you might have noticed at GBR, and I had to look up who these guys are. It's New Concept Energy. This one moved yesterday big time. There is very little volume on it. So look, it went 2 to 30. It's not participating pre-market volume. It's only done 200,000. So I'm not saying that nothing's going to happen here, but we just fell off 30%, and there's really not much buy action on this particular name. So I think sometimes a good discriminator, at least for short-term plays, can be volume. I'm probably going to be looking at staying away from this one. Just watch out. Naked Brands just now, maybe a couple of minutes ago, when some of these other names were moving to the upside, you saw AMC just break as well. That just busted a 175 area. The only reason I say that, I was shorting off of this. It looked very weak this morning. I shorted off this level. It made a hard bottom at 160. There was some buying down in this price range. It's making a march to a $2 top. If it holds that, that's the way I'd like to catch this to the short side if I can. But there was one point this morning where it did feel like Naked Brands was, along with Sundial, which is literally down on the day actually, was one of these gappers that was not necessarily holding up as well. So I'll be watching that $2 level for a short. It'll be a reversal long if it breaks a high, of course. But there are still some upgrades and downgrades here, Brendan, so let's go to the big screen.
Yeah, some analyst moves to talk about again today. We'll kind of preface this by saying, take it for what it's worth. When there's other influences coming into the market, as we've seen this week, these won't mean a heck of a lot outside of, here's WDC, Western Digital, 10+% in the pre-market to the upside. Earnings were better than expected. Multiple, and I mean 5 or 6 different analyst price target increases on Western Digital. Boeing is on here. Lexicon Pharmaceuticals, Jack in the Box, 3D Systems, one that's been very, very strong on the downgrade side today, guys.
You mentioned Western Digital there, and it's interesting. Like we've been talking about Boeing, I guess. From a negative standpoint early on. If you see what happened here, and I'm just talking about like right at 8 o'clock when you got that, the numbers, out of J&J here taking the market to the downside a little bit, and then you see Boeing off that 200 level, just as usual, cratering, and then all the way back. Now my gut tells me, I didn't do this trade last time, it was like a 198 to 200 level to be able to take a bit of a short there. In the face of an upgrade, I might not test that again. I'm a little surprised that it bounced back like this on volume all the way to 200, like a $5 move like this. So I might stay a little bit away from the Boeing short, at least for today. If it does fall down, I still like that 175 from a couple of months ago. So Boeing's going to be on the list to watch. Like you said, Western Digital, Sean, probably a little bit more interesting because we shouldn't forget some of these, I don't know the word, like traditional names, more solid names, more fundamental play, whatever you want to call them. I feel like Western Digital should not be ignored today.
No, I mean, that's why it's on my list there, guys. So WDC, another big one. They come off earnings and they're breaking out through the top. So like I said, you can hit up the Twitter to find those levels for you. But I like this. It already broke through 58.50. So that's gone. So Western Digital is now gone. We reloaded there in AMC again, guys. Like, I mean, I'm here for you. We're reloading these. We reloaded at 88. We reloaded at 93. We got some out here, 13 and change. The hands aren't super diamonds, but when you're trading with share size, as you guys know, and you have the ability to get in and out, you might as well. So right now, guys, it's already this kind of day, almost 2 times. People are asking there, what kind of nets and whatnot do we look at? Look, it's a policy that we don't disclose our net, but it's 2 times my daily goal already in the pre-market, and we still have 23 minutes to go, guys. Congratulations. Let's go.
Okay, let's continue along here, guys. We'll talk about what is moving in the pre-market. If you haven't already, as I mentioned, take out the watch list. Let's get into Johnson & Johnson, the next one. They came out this morning talking about 66 to 85%. There was a big window there depending on the severity of the case when it comes to vaccine data. This was talked about the past couple of weeks. They were kind of hinting at it around their earnings report, saying that this data was coming. So we got it this morning. So 66 to, somewhere in that 85% efficacy rate for their COVID-19 vaccine, which is obviously not what the market wanted, guys. We're down about 4% here.
If you're into drawing these trend lines, you could sort of look at where it bottomed out around 160 to 161 and say to yourself, that was a good place to pick Johnson & Johnson up. To reiterate what Mark said, it did sort of feel like, even just initially reading it, that this was definitely positive for everyone, I would say. And then not bad news overall for J&J.
Here we go.
They sold the news. 160 has a cluster right here. I think it's going to be worth it if we retest the low to pick up J&J off of that level. As a momentum play, I don't know that it's not going to beat any of the things that we'll be trading today from that regard, but certainly if you do get a retest of 160 or if it goes any further than that, a 155 is a gift.
So guys, headline right here. Citron's research founder Andrew Leff says company will no longer be publishing, so I put this on Twitter, short sell reports. Good job, because you guys suck. No, just joking. You've sucked recently, but I guess you haven't in the past. Good job on that. I mean, look, they talked about NEO's price going down to $25. How's that working for you, Mr. Left? That's at 60. They talked about GameStop. They talked about all that. So I think it's probably a good idea that you leave the trading to the big boys. And here we go. Bang! We're hitting it up again today, guys. There it goes. We go 3 times. Let's just keep on going to the north side right now with AMC. What a couple reloads. Bang, bang, bang to the upside. And there it goes. So let's just keep on watching this. I'm going to keep my eyes on all of these for you. We're watching Naked Brands. If that can break through $3, we like that one. But here goes AMC rocketing to the north side again. Let's check out GameStop.
Virgin Galactic just broke 45. Now, I had a break that was before 45 here, so a bit of a bad trigger. I quickly scalped out of it. Now I just got back in on a 45
AMC.
break and continuing this push to the upside. It's sort of in this same space here. That's the second time I've done that. Sort of in the same space, and there's the move that we had yesterday off of 40 was absolutely fantastic. It's at 44, dip down into 40, would go back up. If we break out and get past that 46, these highs at 50 are going to be some awesome levels on Virgin Galactic. I don't know that we had this one on the watch.
All right, guys, let's bring in Arun here. We'll have a look at the overall market back in negative territory once again, Arun, as we head towards Friday morning open. What are you looking at?
Final day of the month, it's going to be quite the month with a lot of options expiring at the end of the day. So expect some activity heavily towards the end of the day. In terms of opening levels, I've got 3780 on the top end. That's the level I'm looking at. If we can break that, I think we have a potential for some upside movement with 3745 as the bottom end. So I've got a level down at 3745. I've got a level at 3780. We're in between. I'm just waiting to decide where exactly I want to play. Do I want to play on the short side with the 80, or do I want to play on the long side with the 45? For now, though, it is coming back down. So if we can actually settle in underneath 60 and find some sort of buying, I think I'm going to go with the long side play if we set up properly, of course. Now, if we break that 80, the level that I gave you guys yesterday, that 38.25, that's still in play. I'm going to slide that a little bit further. It's going to be 38.30 for today. So 38.30 is going to be above 37.80 if we break upside. Now, if we break to the downside, if we break that 45, then you've got the even level. The 3700 is going to be the big one at the bottom. Of course, if you break that, it's open season on the downside if we can get below 3700. But for now, as we come back in, I want to see what happens below 60 to see if I can find just enough to actually catch a bid and actually go for a long. If we break that 45, then you're going to see me on the short side going towards that 3700.
Great stuff. Thanks so much, Arun. We'll check back in again on Monday. Lots of things moving around here, guys. Just having a look at NVAX. We'll talk about that next here. Unlike J&J, Novavax coming out with a 90% effectiveness rate with their COVID-19 vaccine. Data came out after market yesterday. So as we said with Mark, a little bit under the radar. They weren't really talking about this heading into the release of this data. But here's Novavax up 63% this morning, pushing towards day highs.
Under normal circumstances, I'd look at 225 up there, and this is a 15-minute chart just for a little bit of perspective. Normal circumstance, I'd be looking at 225 and saying, hey, look, if we do not break the high of the day at 9:30 or going into 9:30, it's that classic on data rollover.
Here goes Naked
there, guys. Naked Brands is at that $2 level.
Let's go.
Yeah, I'm not shorting in front of it, not at this time of day. If it does turn, I'll short on the other end, and in that if it does fail to get through, and it just broke now, if it had failed to get through, I was going to short off of that and then go down like 98, 99, so something along those lines. But I'm probably going to stay away from the rollover in Novavax unless it's a perfect setup where I can catch a flush off that 225. If it breaks the high, got to walk away from that one for sure.
Yeah, okay. We did take Naked Brands there. I don't know why my order didn't fill initially, but we do have that one through too. So let's see what happens there on that high side. But yeah, we are loving life right now as AMC just continues to go. Take out the big stick, guys. It's going to be a big day, Brendo.
Okay, guys, let's continue along here. We'll talk about Eli Lilly. Earnings were better than expected for Eli Lilly. There are some stocks with actual news this morning. LLY, we mentioned moving in the pre-market after a better than expected report right across the board, guys.
Eli Lilly, yeah. Sorry, I'm probably not going to be paying too much attention to some of these stocks. But right now, Naked Brands are the high side. You can see here, what is this high here? 215 or so, 2 and change. So we are long this one. We're still watching and loving life right now on AMC, and we still have BBBY. Now, $1 and change into the money. So you guys, man, today has been a wheelbarrow kind of day. If anyone likes Eli Lilly, maybe Neil. I haven't done any work on Eli Lilly today.
All my charts are frozen right now. I need to give me a minute.
All right, Neil needs a minute. All right, so we'll just keep watching AMC then, guys. AMC to the high side, 1280, 1390, and still running, guys. So we're loving life right now on all these names. I'll look at Eli Lilly. Why not for you there, Brendan? You know, when some of these stocks are sleeping on days like today, it's sort of when I turn my head, because right now I can't do this. I'm in too many positions right now, and boom, AMC to the moon. Let's go through $14, baby. Four times daily net as we continue to go. $1.50 now in the money on BBBY. Man, what a morning this is, Mr. Roberts. Let's go.
Let's go. I mean, Eli Lilly actually doesn't really have a heck of a lot to look at here. I mean, I'm just being perfectly honest with you. It's done 80,000 shares pre-market. If that was a higher number, maybe. If you are going to be playing over in that space, I'm just looking at the NASDAQ there. If you're going to be playing that space, it's got to be Moderna for momentum. It's got to be J&J for the value, at least in my personal opinion. But watching this AMC 14 monster level on the offer, looks like it's trying to break right now.
All right, guys, you want to continue along with some of these stocks that are moving? Take it away. We'll watch the markets here.
Yeah, exactly. Let's just keep on watching it. I mean, I don't know what positions you have on, Neil, right now, but we are just hella loving it right here. A big trade on Naked Brands there. Thank you, Brendan. Good decision there. Over to 1380. Okay, quick little look here. I am dumping some of these shares, $14. Look at what we see. Open up our eyes right now. AMC, 10 million shares, basically, on buy. Look how many shares this is. Nokia, big time. BlackBerry, big time right now. And we're in this. We're making that cash today, and we're loving it here today on the show. So hopefully you guys are here with us. Naked Brands hasn't really gone, so I did get some out. We loaded up here at 207 or so. Hasn't gone yet. We're relatively light on it. I'm not in love with this as much as I am with AMC. So we just took some out there at that 14 level. But Neil, what are you playing?
Yeah,
right
watch for a dip in BlackBerry here. It just tested the 17, well, 18 really. This is that little break that it had here at like 1730. If we pull back into like a 30 to 40 range, I'm going to take that one on the dip. I'm going to be looking at Virgin Galactic on the dip. There was the first break there at 45. Able to take at least a little bit out there for a little bit of profit, you'll see. I'm waiting on Naked Brands to come back in, but I wasn't watching. We said right before we went on air, I was still saying that Nokia was basically doing absolutely nothing of all of these names. Then you see it pop up in the bounce locator, and it's still not moving. I'm going to try my hand because this is the one that hasn't actually taken off the top yet, and it's only up 8 or 9%. I'm going to have a quick look to see if we can get a break at the open, and we have 25 minutes or so to go, at that 5:15 level on Nokia. So I'm adding that one to my list. I was not going to be watching it before.
Yeah, so good. So we're already in Nokia. So we got Nokia right now. We've got Naked Brands. We've got Bed Bath & Beyond. We just took out a $2 winner there on Bed Bath & Beyond. We have $1.50 now. Let's go. And it breaks. It breaks through, guys. This is just the kind of day that we're having again. I brought you guys the heat Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And here it comes again today. You guys are holding these trades, I hope. And here we go to the high side right now. The fun just doesn't stop here. AMC 1430 and still ripping. Let's check out Rocket Mortgage. Look, AMC was great. Everybody knows about AMC, but we brought you Rocket yesterday. This one faded off. It went to 26 and change. Let's see if this one can keep going. I mean, the level I gave was 22.50. Nothing else really about that right now. Watching through Naked Brands, I got to get an order out to get out in case this does break, guys.
Yeah, and remember we just talked about the dip there in BlackBerry. It came right to that 40 level. It's starting to bounce off of it. So on the way back up, I'm going to catch it there. With the even breaks on Naked, because I didn't get it on the upside, I'm going to take it on the downside here. Watch for like a 195 on any kind of a retracement. I'm not seeing any retracement at all on AMC, so you can pretty much throw that one out the window. Just to go, there's another one moving here, and it's going to be that, of course my chart doesn't go, EXPR. I know some of you guys are following this name as well. This looks like it has a lot of room to still kind of run here. If I'm going to short, however, if I'm going to short one today off 750, EXPR might fall into that category, guys. It was a good one to pivot to on the shorts earlier on in the week. I feel like that might be the same case, and I'm watching 750 on that name, guys.
I'm just going to get you guys this BBBY trade sent. Oops, that's Naked Brands. BBBY trade sent out to Twitter right now because good little call right here on that one. Breaking through the 40 level again. I gave that level to you guys early in the pre-market, so hopefully that will work out for you on that. And then Naked Brands as well, like Neil mentioned. So we just punched through that 10 on Nokia. I'm not waiting around for this. Hopefully this can go through as well. So Nokia, big runner, and then yeah, you guys all want to see AMC 1450. I mean, look at these buys, man. 1250 buy, reload 1290, reload 1288. We're not going to stop here. This is how you trade. This is what trading's all about. When the markets do this, this is a generational opportunity
guys,
right now, guys.
We haven't mentioned GameStop, and it is sort of, obviously this is leading the charge. 400 to a dime is a pre-market high. I had a 400 break yesterday right around the open. It's the same level I'm going to be looking at again here, guys. So I'm going to watch that 400. You know things can go crazy on this Friday, guys. Brennan, what's up?
We were talking before we came on this morning. I was kind of surprised at how more of these stocks haven't gone to market and raised cash. So AAL, one that went yesterday, just coming out, guys, with a $1.2 billion offering. So big move yesterday, but AAL downside here at the moment, guys.
Well, it's like you said. You were saying this before. Why wouldn't? And look, a lot of people have said this before. Why wouldn't AMC do this? This makes a lot of sense to me. I mean, AAL. This might actually get received kind of decently. Is my first guess, and if that's the case, always look to first support after an announcement like this. 1780 is going to be it for me. You might look at 18 even. I'm looking at 1780 in particular. I just said it, and then I missed it on Naked Brands, that reload. I said look for like a 195 there. You're going to see it dip down. Yeah, there's 195. You know, there's me not getting it. Like, stick to my rules. Whether I get it or not, I'll take some out in front of the current high of the day, that 210, and then see if we can't hold on to the rest. But that's a dip. You know, whatever. I should have had that. I was literally just talking about it. So I should have had some at 195 there. This looks like it's also going through the moon. The only thing, like I said, the only thing isn't, I might take Sundial to the short side because that looks very, very weak as well. But right now, let's see if Naked can continue to run, guys.
Yeah, let's see if it continues to go, guys. 4 times now daily goal as we just keep on busting through. And we've got to change the goal. I mean, that's all that matters right there. Okay, Nokia, we do have 10s, stopping at 12s, printing 11. So I think this probably does come back a little bit here. It doesn't look super, super strong. Naked Brands, we're going to wait again here. We did take a 10 there. I'm going to give it back to like, 185 or something like that. This kind of reload spot there. If it goes out, then it goes out. We did have a big trade on Naked Brands yesterday, but this could still fade back down, right? I mean, there's a lot of big pumps happening right now off 9 o'clock. A lot of moves on 9 o'clock, right? So watch out for some of this stuff turning around a little bit now, including AMC, which we just took some out 14.15, and so we just took another piece out there 13.90. So, that was that dark wick. We got to get back out. We didn't mean to take all of those out. We are out of AMC, but we got to get back in, guys.
Yeah, and there is one name in the list I kind of at least want to mention, even if it's only briefly. Property Solutions SPAC. You guys can read it, and please check in. Sign up for the watch list so you can follow along here. Faraday is the EV maker that is going to be involved in this deal. Was yesterday, and it did have some a big time price action. You're seeing a gap up again today. If this holds like a 19 area of that bottom, that'll make me at least a little bit bullish on it. But we've seen this in the past where it blows through this and then you don't find a low until another support. I think 16 is going to be that for me. Taking off the top today, we'll leave the breakouts for the names with the bigger momentum. The breakouts on these SPACs, like day 2, day 3, has not always been the best play. So I'm going to wait in the weeds on this one. PSAC, but it's worth a watch and should be on your radar today.
All right. Okay, so we got back into AMC there on like that was a pretty good trade there on that 14 break. So we got back in. We are actually long AMC down here still. We got out on this bad wick to the downside. It triggered our stop, but we got right back in there. Now we're watching this thing hopefully take itself to the high side again through 14. The high of the day right now. I should take off some of these transactions. The high of the day, 1450, 1447, I guess, if you're looking at exact numbers there. We still held our options, so this is a big day for me today. We're really super excited. Let's see how it goes. Hopefully you guys are all getting into your accounts. Let us know if you're not on the chat, so then maybe we can help our former traders there, our current guys, trade through some of those outages, if there are any again, outages and shutting down the app and whatnot, protecting our risk So we'll see what they want to do again today.
And
save us from our own mistakes.
I should say we should say this too. Like if there's like things going on, outages, like we're not going to necessarily know. Throw it in the chat. Let us know so we're aware of what's going on too, guys. So I mean, obviously we'll tell you guys anything that we see is coming up here. And there's like 1450 obviously is going to be a psychological level. I like playing these breakouts. I think there's so much momentum and volume. So I want to try to get in and out on breakouts. And then if there's a dip to 1320 on AMC, I definitely am going to be playing that. Naked Brands just pulled back in, so I still have half that position, but 195 is the only place that I will look to defend. GameStop is still going, weirdly enough, sideways. For those of you that are monitoring this particular name, that actually, for now, it bodes well. If there's no flush into the open, there's a good chance it has that break. If it breaks 400 as a day trade, I'm likely to just get quickly in and out because usually there's a dip before it really, really goes. And if that's the case, 350 has had a ton of price action around there, so probably a level that's worth playing off of in GameStop in particular.
All right, we don't really have any stop orders here on AMC or anything, but we are, I didn't even put any in. So right now we're looking for BlackBerry. We do see some size there. I'm a little bit nervous, guys, just because, I mean, it's not nerves. It's just, we've seen some of these imbalances go the other way, right? Oops, that's the NASDAQ one. We've seen some of these imbalances. Wow, okay. Now we're over 10 million, so we've seen some of these imbalances go the other way off the open, so we may get a dip down, I'm thinking a little bit, in AMC just because a lot of the action is pegged off of this, so people are getting excited that there's a big buy imbalance. Yesterday, I don't think we opened up, maybe Brad can remember, or Neil, or
forever.
Brendan. We didn't open up was it yesterday or the day before?
No, it was 2 days ago, 2 days ago.
It was day 9 what? 9:45, they didn't get it all settled out. So we got to watch out for that big number coming through. And guys, thank you for all of the super chats here. What is this one here? Cincy video. I know it's crazy, Tate, but you give me some thoughts on Donkey Kong? Sure. I mean, there's another call right there that I've made to viewers from $35 Donkey Kong, aka DraftKings. Welcome to the party. If you guys are just joining us now for the first time, Sean Katina, Neil Roberts, Brendan Wickens, DKNG. We'll look at this quickly for the NASDAQ there. Wow, 57. Like, I'm just enamored with all of these trades that we have on now. Like, I didn't even check my portfolio yesterday for DraftKings, so boom on DraftKings. Thank you, Cincinnati Video Guru. Not sure what that means, but that's a big call. And you're 100% right, man. We hammered DraftKings in our own account. I haven't been trading this one much lately. I'm just letting the good ride. And all my friends, again, in this DraftKings, you guys are my friends. I hope you're in DraftKings as well as this one rips to the high side. Man, it's going to be a good birthday for my man Barrett, and shout out to you, Barrett. Happy birthday, my man. Daddy's coming home with a little more cheddar than he had before.
All about that cheddar. And BlackBerry, it was sleepy. It's making a run at that high of the day, guys. So 17.90, I mean, forget about it. I mean, 18 is probably going to be a better level if you like the breakout. I like the consolidation here. That's why we took it. I'll cover some in front of the high. I know it's crazy. We have 15 minutes until the open here, so there's still a lot of room to maybe play a few ranges in before you get some of these opening breakouts. And I think that's going to be the name of the game. I'm unlikely to have GameStop before the open. You want the extra volume, I shouldn't say not volatility, to cover you for some of your trades. So anyways, I was talking about Moderna being the one for the day trade. I missed my shot on this one, shorting it. It's now starting to roll over. I'm watching a 200 level if I take another crack at Moderna, sort of probably too early in the morning. And, that's not a trade I usually take at 8:23, but at 9 or 9:23, I would have. If we get back to 200 and can't break it, I'm now looking to short Moderna, but it's already put in such a pullback. You don't think it can go further? Pull up a chart of AAL yesterday when it had the exact same type of move, based out below VWAP and then broke down, and then it was a huge short trade. I know, Sean, you had that one, so I'm watching Moderna for something similar.
Good. Okay, so Nokia, looks like Nokia's trying to break out now as well. We can get some more shares here, but we're already long at 12, so this one looks like it wants to go as well. Oops, I'm not even on Nokia right there. I have too many other symbols and stuff going on here. There goes Nokia.
There's more offer resistance just in terms of sheer quantity of size and reloading going on in Nokia than all of these other names that I'm noticing here. So I'm not saying it's not going up because it just broke out and I got the long when it broke 15, but there's just a heck of a lot more of a wall here before the open standing in the way of Nokia. And that felt like the last time I traded it was about the same thing too.
Yeah, Rocket also, we're going to talk about all these hot names. I said that already, but we do have our watch list here, and let's just take it out just for a little bit, just to show you guys some of the names that are on there. NVAX, Eli Lilly, we talked about that as well. Look, blockchain stocks. I mean, let's not forget about what's happening right now with Mara, what's happening right now with BTBT, MSTR as well, Riot blockchain. I mean, these are all going crazy. Let's just check out Riot right now, just for you, or BTBT, whatever you guys want, as the NASDAQ. Sorry, as Bitcoin making a big move. This stock, Riot, let's see what we're up today. Not loading yet. There we go, Riot.NQ. I think it's, what is it, 20 or 30%? Yeah, 23% today up for Riot. So we're watching out for that one as that's going to go. Western Digital, we talked about that. Big earnings for them today and a big move. Apple, what? That's down 4.5%. Buy Apple, take out some of your AMC earnings if and when you flatten that position. Always put, and we talked about this with our friend Kevin O'Leary, always put a dime into stocks that you want for your future. So buy some Apple after this is all said and done. Property Solutions, I think Brendan was talking about this, or Neil was before. Biofarm here as well, Biogen, sorry. And then J&J down on the 72% effectiveness there. So not sure about that. I think that's still pretty good, but I guess it's not fantastic. And that's what they're looking for. I know you're long Nokia there, Neil, but it's breaking down.
Yeah, I actually just picked some up off that 10 level. So I said there's going to be some dip buys because we have time till the open. Probably not, look, it's not a buy that I would necessarily make if we were selling into this right at 9:30. It's not deep enough of a pullback, but when you can still play it before the open, yeah, I'm going to take it. This is where a break happened and then it made a run at the top. And now all of a sudden, if it breaks the high, you got a better price. If it stalls out at that high of the day, you can take some up for a small profit and work the position because there's still 10 minutes to do so before the open. So I mean, it's a little bit of a different style of trade that I think some of you guys may or may not be accustomed to. It's one that I happen to like here. Naked Brands, I do the same thing if it was 195, but that's not what I'm looking at. This SIEB, anyways, like I said, we talked about this first time. I don't have any really knowledge about this stock, except for the fact that it was part of the run to the upside. And it looks like it's going to be one of the weaker names. I don't think I think we do have shorts available here. And if it cannot bounce up, I mean, some of these gap plays, if they don't have the momentum off of the open, they just might be big-time flushes. Cost was one, and we wanted to buy that one on the dip yesterday, and it worked. I will not be doing that with SIEB. I don't have any level to the downside that I like now that it's already come off like $10 or so. But just to let, I know a lot of people are looking at this. I've saw it all over Twitter, but this one doesn't seem like it's nearly as strong as some of the others by a long shot.
So shout out to Curated High. Thank you so much for the $5. I will definitely give that over to the big man himself. And he likes Happy Meals, but I think recently he likes Wendy's. So he's trying to push that.
Get that Frosty, man.
Yeah, no, he's a Baconator kind of guy right now. So he's going to be downing the Baconator.
Can't go wrong with that.
It's minus 11 right now. So unless I get him into coffee, I'm not sure he's going to be drinking Frosties right this second. But
whoa. I don't care
maybe.
how cold it is.
Okay, here we go, guys. AMC to the moon. The biggest trade. So we just took a big position on, a decent position of more shares than maybe I need to, of BlackBerry. So we're long on BlackBerry through 1805. And there goes AMC, guys. Your boy has this one. We're 5 positions. They're all ripping up right now for us. 1460 right now on AMC. Go, young fellow, go. This day is just getting started. Welcome. It's Hoodie Friday. We've got the good stuff on today as we continue to run to the high side. AMC still ripping. Nokia now ripping too as well. So we've got everything. I've got Prad beside me. He's getting ready to get locked and loaded. What's up to Prad's dad? What's up to all of our fans out there? Let's keep the fire going, guys. Twitter, at Trader TV Sean. Instagram, the exact same thing. Let's keep the fire right there. A nice little out on Nokia, but we're holding for more. 5 times daily goal.
Hold the long in this situation. If this breaks the top, now remember what day this is. If these all break the top at exactly the same time, BlackBerry just broke 18. Naked Brands is testing the high of the day here. I haven't checked a couple of these names because we're only going to trade so many at once. I have the corner of my eye creeping to 400 on GameStop. I've not made a trade there. I'm hoping there won't be anything until the open because I would hate to miss a shot at GameStop through 400. It does feel like that's going to be a better level than it was certainly yesterday. But yeah, there's Naked Brands again to the high. And big seller at 45 there on AMC. Did I just see that right?
I don't know. I'm not even watching AMC right now because we are loving life on BlackBerry as well, guys. We just took some out at 20 there, so that's a nice little 20-cent win. That maybe it's not enough, but whatever. Okay, Bed Bath & Beyond Naked Brands finally starting to go now as well. We still have that. We're trying to hold that long and strong on NAKD. And yeah, this has been a fire show so far today. The market's not even open, and I'm exhausted right now. But a big shout out to everybody out there. Shout out to our producer as well, who I know is watching. And let's just keep this momentum going to the high side right now. 12.14, 12.15. Let's just keep this going. Naked Brands to the moon right now. Everything going. And the funny thing is, guys, I mean, we can start talking now because we all had this. Remember yesterday I said, shh, let's not tell anybody about Rocket. Well, let's tell them now about Rocket because we're already loaded up yesterday, man. 21-22. I've got calls on this. We've all got some trades to go through. We've got AMC. We've got everything popping. Nokia, though, fading.
I just took mine off there. And like the second time it dips down, we took some profit up at that 16, 17. That was the reason for the reload to improve our price. Now I'm just going to walk away from that one. It's not nearly, and this is like the second or third time in a row that I've traded that stock, and it's been the same story. So Naked Brands, again, broke through the high. All these almost at the same time, and we're testing the high, and the one that didn't go was the one I had to take off. 225, I think, is going to be the next little target to the upside if it gets there. BlackBerry pulled back a little bit, not much. You're still above that 18 area. I guess if you took the break at that 1790, it's better than getting it at 18. Either way, if it dips down into the original price at 1750, I'll look to reload that stock. It still looks pretty good to the upside. Virgin Galactic's actually holding. Not doing as much here from that 45 break, so it might be a late riser to the party as it just looks like it's trying to get back through that high of day. Brendan?
Just a heads up, guys, some comments from the SEC coming through right now on this trading volatility. It's nothing specific, but they're basically saying they are closely monitoring the situation for any possibility of manipulative trading activity. So just be careful in the next couple minutes here. We might get a little reaction from some of these guys.
Yeah, we may just get that reaction, guys. 17. Okay, so just looking here, I mean, Naked Brands going, man. We are really, really big on this stock right now. Naked Brands going near the top. I mean, my best stock today, single-handedly 4 times daily goal on AMC already. And Naked Brands, look at this, out right there. We were a little nervous there on that 2 break, but we didn't really get out of much. And then we reloaded at 210. I know Neil has this one as well. AMC started, or not, sorry, Nokia starting to go. We dumped a little bit off that first entry, but now we're starting to go on this name. We're still actually positive on Nokia, position pending. This needs to go. Let's check out our imbalance locator today, 12 million. I'm going to go get some water and I'll be right back, or else I won't be able to last.
Yeah, I'm going to change tune for a little bit here on Sundial. I was saying, looks weak, not going to the upside, still down. It's really forming a bit of a level at 81.5 here, and 84 is going to be another one. If we get any kind of a break through 85 even, I think that's going to be kaputs to at least a few people that are probably shorting this pre-market, at least in my estimation, because if I was short, that's where my stop would be. And I'm not shorting it. I tried a couple of times. I didn't like it this morning. I'm going to be looking at this 85 here and just saying, okay, quick break through the high. It's not the high really on Sundial, but that quick break of 85 even. See if you can't run into like 90, 91. Just because it's depressed at this point and looking for something that hasn't run yet that can give you a little bit of an upside trade. I think Sundial is falling into that category. I'm not taking my eyes off of GameStop. Obviously you guys all saw what happened in the afternoon. That deep pullback for sort of obvious reasons. I think we can all agree on that. 400 is going to stay that price. That's very interesting. Look, it tried to go through the high of day, and there was an opportunity, earlier on in the session there, and this is like right at 9:30 where it just made a hard bottom. It pressed through 400. I actually had this break, and it didn't work out. It just couldn't get through the high of day, and it feels like maybe this is the morning that it happens. It's been having trouble getting to 400. Every other one of these names, fresh highs on Naked Brands. BlackBerry's testing to 18 again, and GameStop is nowhere to be found. So if this one goes, it's going to drag some of these others with it, and it has yet to go.
I want to give a big thank you and a big shout out to all the super chats again. Any thoughts on costs? Yeah, Neil was trading that yesterday. I'm not on that one. And then thanks for Naked. You're welcome. I mean, I'm going to thank Naked myself for giving that to us today as well. So, whoops, I just highlighted that chat. Let me close that again. Yeah, so right now, guys, I just took some more out on Naked Brands, and you are welcome for that. And thank you, Jarhead. You've been a big supporter of us as well. And I know Jarhead's part of Hydration
There's another big
Nation.
move. I'm taking a few more shares out of Naked Brands. It just made a move to 40 there in like 2 seconds.
Yeah, I know, exactly. I just got out at 40 as well. We just got out there 37s, guys. We're long Naked Brands 09, and we were longer even earlier than 06, 07s. We're now long 09s. A big out there on Naked Brands. Good call, Neil.
Yeah, and sorry, I just got triggered into a sundial there, and I'm going to go a little bit earlier. I mean, it's just... And I always say this, look, guys, trade your own book and trade the momentum, but there was I just couldn't wait for this one to get to like 85. It was too ridiculous. The momentum was just picking up on this name, and I'm watching on level 2. It's like, no, I got to have it, and I got to have it now. Because 85 was a level that I was going to be watching anyways, I'm going to take some profit in front of it, just because I expect there could be a bit of a turnaround. I think there's probably some stops that are going to be up in and around that range. So I'll see if I can take profit on Sundial in front of 85. I still like the break if it gets through that price. So I'm going to be, for now at least, looking at some longs in Sundial, which actually just turned green on the morning. So almost everything I'm watching in green territory.
Oh man, like this is what dreams are made of, guys. And it's been a monster month for us. We've been perfect, let alone not only what's happening in our own account as well. Besides what's happening, what you see on the show. I know a lot of you guys are trading with us, but I also hold a lot of these in PAs. So not just on these prop accounts. We're trading on a prop floor here with Day Trade the World. So if you're excited about what we're doing, Day Trade. I didn't even pay for any shorts today. I guess I need to do that on AMC, but we're still long at $14. It's going to blow off the top here. Look at what's happening with the imbalance locator. Yeah, 13 million shares right now on that. So that's going to be a good one. And I'm going to get Greg to get me some shorts here.
Yeah, and I think, look, we actually talked about this with Mark, and it was a good point because very, very cheap shorts, which means a lot of these big short floated stocks are just getting recycled, right? Like people that get out of their shorts are just getting into more of them. So it behooves us to say that that's got to be true. That's why I always try to let you guys know what the price is and what borrows are in some of these names. It's just so easy for people to be going short. But here comes that bell, 3, 2, and 1. Brad, you're a tall guy there, and I'm glad you got that Houston hat off. Much obliged. This market is open. Let's get this party started. BlackBerry pulling back in here. Have to watch for a bit of a dip to that 1750.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I'm thinking a lot of these stocks probably going to come off right now, and so we're going to get a little bit out here on Naked Brands. Just because, that's all. No real reason. Just because we're in the money, we have some nice profits here. BlackBerry, we're still long. This is going to open up and probably get us out. I'm using this VWAP to get out there. There we go. So we drop it off on BlackBerry. BlackBerry, a loser right there for us as it comes back down, guys. That's BlackBerry, not open yet, but we did take that hit. It does break or come close to that VWAP. It's all about preservation, guys. That one just goes down and we get off. Stay disciplined, stay hydrated, stay healthy. Let's go. AMC to the moon.
And there goes Sundial. I actually just missed that 50 break. Obviously, 85 break. I talked about it. Thankfully, I got some shares early here on that 82. I didn't want to miss the momentum on it. Yet I kind of did there. So 85 was a good break. If you got it, that was a good one. So we still have the 82s, but that was just, that was free money. We talked about all we want here, guys.
Yes, it was. Bang! The free money just keeps on rolling through, guys. Neil is 100% right. Let's go, Sundial, here to the upside. Great call, Neil, bringing that to my attention as well. BlackBerry, that's Bed Bath & Beyond, right back to 40. We do have some stops there as well. What's up, Brendan? I hear some wows back there, buddy.
GME, guys, GME, huge move through 400 there for GameStop.
Wow, okay, good call. We'll look at that in a minute. Right now, actually, GME, let's have a quick look for you guys. I'm on AMC, but yeah, 410 now, GME, AMC, same styles, guy. Bang, $15. No wonder we're through the moon on our net, guys. A monster trade here for me. AMC, bang, 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 all the way to the upside. Let's go.
Yeah, look, I missed 400. I had the second day in a row. I had execution issues off the open. Watch out, GameStop as fast as it came up, and this is why I'm not chasing it. Look at this move back to the downside. It's likely, it has a chance to halt here, but we set on a pullback. Watch for 350. If we don't halt, there could be an opportunity that it's going to bounce here, guys. I'm gonna see if I can pick up some shares here on this little bounce. And again, look, trade your own book, trade carefully. If it cannot hold 350, this is going to be a crazy one, guys. And if it does halt, always get right out of any kind of halt trade.
From the watch list, guys, Western Digital did take out that pre-market high on a huge volume spike there at the open, but struggling at 60 so far for WDC.
Okay, yeah, oh, struggling at 60, wow, okay. We didn't, okay, so Rocket Mortgage there, had a little epiphany there at 26.27. Right when we put that tweet out, I guess at 8:30, that was unbelievable. Up to 26 and change. Now you're dropping back down. So again, for me, this was always, I mean, I can't believe it's even up 8%. This to me is going to be an earnings play for February. February 9th, I think they blow out earnings and they're 35% short. So that's the rhetoric behind that one. Nokia, we're going to get ready to drop that if it breaks through 5.
Yeah, Nokia is kind of a crazy one. And GameStop, there's a halt to the downside, guys. I was able to at least cover some right before the exit. No matter where it opens, I'm going to be getting out of that. Naked Brands comes all the way in. Now, I actually held on to some of this. It's literally like 10% of the position. But 185 is a bit of a dip. If we halt here on Naked Brands, I mean, you're going to get out of it. But if it does turn around off 185, that looks like a decent bunched up area. We talk about these bunches as a place to maybe get into some of these trades. And I just got some 187s here. See if we can't run this. Maybe back up to like a 2 even before we take some more profit off in this one, guys.
Okay, yeah, we're just trying to, a little bit of massaging here with some of these plays. As AMC comes right back to the downside there. Look at that out. Believe it or not, man, that's a 16 out right there. We had that out, so that was a good trade. It does come back right back to VWAP, 1380 right now on AMC. Probably worth defending a little bit. What's up, Beep?
We saw the huge move up in Moderna, guys, all the way back to 180. We're trying to bounce up here to 185, but very, very volatile on mRNA so far.
Okay, Moderna, yeah, I mean, I'm just getting some orders ready here to go on AMC, so we're watching that one. We did break out of Sundial there. We hit that. That was a beautiful trade to the upside. Then we dropped it. Now we're holding that 10% like I always do to see what does happen to Sundial. Bed Bath & Beyond cracking right now as well. We took our profits. Now we got to get out to make sure that we don't give it all back. Some of these stocks, big time movement in the pre-market, but right now coming back down. I'm going to give this one to 37. If it breaks 37, I got to get out of Bed Bath & Beyond, and here it comes screaming down to the downside.
Yeah, I mean, it's for Sundial, because I have more of a short bias on that one, there's no way. I was thinking about whether I wanted to reload it, and we got some out at the top, but that's just way too crazy, guys. So ultimately, I'm just going to take this one off at 80, the last 10% that we have. You can see BlackBerry continue to come down here. I actually have a stuck order. I want to know if I got a fill on it. But Naked Brands, I mean, for now, talk about that 185. For now, it's trying to hold up. If it cannot hold this level, it either bounces off 180 or I'm out of this one from the long. And there's a 50,000 share bid on 180 on Naked Brands. It's not a lot of shares, but if it refreshes,
AMC's
I'll
gonna
reload.
hold.
Brennan?
Some other vaccine names moving, guys, worth mentioning here. Inovio, INO, remember that one? Just broke 13 there on a huge volume spike to the upside, 20% for INO today.
Okay, so the day that was a great one is turning around a little bit here. We get out of our Naked Brands, obviously. Big trade there, positive trade for us on Naked Brands, but everything seems to be falling right now. We talked about AMC on the downside. So this is why you take profits, man. Like I'm scalping. We did recently just make another buy there. We bought at 1376, then again at 1350, but I'm looking at this 12 on this reopen. Remember, every single halt I get caught in does not result in profit, it seems like. So be very, very careful here. AMC halted to the downside, guys.
Yeah, I mean, I've paired, so the only thing is the rest of my GameStop, which I bought on the dip at 70s here. I'll take the rest of it out on wherever it reopens. The only thing I actually liked for the reload was Naked Brands. I did just
GameStop
again when
halted?
it broke off 180. So here comes 190. If it can break 190, I will start to take some profit to the upside on the way to that 200. Sorry, not 200. Well, hey, I mean, if it goes to 200, I guess I'll be happy about it. But on the way to $2, I should say. The only thing that actually has been rather orderly, and it wasn't doing as much volume pre-market, is Virgin Galactic. Now, I've been guilty of this before, and I'm guilty of it again, holding for the moon on this stock. No pun intended, pun intended. This time, if it does not break 47, I have to get out of here, take $1.50 worth of profit. The way everything else is selling off, it does seem a little bit crazy to try to shoot for the moon over here on Virgin Galactic. So look, we tried it twice. The first time, this never broke 45. I got 90s in, a bad entry point there. So I got out, got back in when it actually took 45. It never really looked back. I certainly could have had 47s. But look, if the rest of the market is going to come off, I shouldn't say the rest of the market. If the rest of these particular names are going to start to show a little bit of weakness, then what I'm going to do is just take the profit and run on some of these. Brendan?
Halted right now, but we mentioned the offering for AAL coming through this morning, and I mentioned, it's surprising that some of these other ones are not going to market to raise some cash. Apparently, rumors flying around now that indeed AMC is considering an offering, guys.
Well,
Okay,
I mean,
so
it
that's
just makes logical sense, right?
good.
I mean, not to go too fundamental, it's actually not a bad thing. If they can raise a bunch of capital and survive longer, look, I mean, like I said, I think it's positive news that we got from J&J overall. I know it's not being reflected in the stock, but how is that? Again, how is that not a bit of a good thing for the recovery? I know I've said it a few times there, and of course there it is. Sorry, just managing GameStop here because I just took a short on it when it halted to the downside there, Sean.
Okay, good. Good call there on the short, on the halt, on the downside. So that's GameStop making moves there. I got to put some orders out when that happens. Looks like AMC will probably open up at a very, very similar time to that right now. So we're going to wait for AMC to open up, guys.
So anyway, look, and again, I was guilty of this yesterday where instead of sort of managing my positions and then talking about it later, downside halts. Look, I got burned on this like long trade here, guys. I got most of it out and then held through, so I lost like 20 bucks. We got the short. I'm not holding positions in GameStop. My goal is to get out and not get trapped in halt side. And maybe I should have been holding on to it, but momentum plays and breakouts and breakdowns are the name of the game. And if I do that type of a play, I want to get in and out as fast as I can. Here is the low of the day, 310. If you're wondering why I was like, Sean, take care of it, I just needed to make sure that this was that pre-market low, so I was buying out in front of it because I was expecting maybe there'd be a bounce there. So I end up now on GameStop essentially just making back what I lost in the initial position. Had I held the short, things would be fantastic on it, but that wasn't going to be the name of the game that I was trying to play at all over in GameStop. Wow. Still going. Unbelievable.
Yeah, GameStop. So that means probably AMC is going to be a little bit of a problem here for me. So I guess I got to put out an order to get out on the print here for AMC because it looks like it's probably going to head to the south side, similar to everything else. We did get flushed out of Nokia as that just broke lower, so that turns out to be a negative stock. Again, it's a very, very spicy morning here. I'm going to put my order out here for AMC, Neil.
Yeah, and Naked Brands, like I said, I'm going to try what I did yesterday, which is like limit the amount of stocks that we're in. It broke 2. My goal to hold some, a quarter of the position I ended up holding, not even half, given the weakness I was seeing in other names. It broke 2 even and then snapped right back. I can't say that I love that, to be honest with you. So I'm going to go ahead and trim some more of this. It was a 184, sorry, it was 186 and then 184 were my 2 entry prices. So the second half of that, of course, is what I have left on. So I'm going to be down to like 10% of this position. If we can hold 180, if this level holds, I still like it to the long side. But yesterday, the same thing sort of happened, and then it was not a bit of a short. It was a short for the rest of the session. There were some obvious differences in terms of yesterday and today. I think that we can all understand. And if you guys have any outages, just certainly let us know. I should have reversed into the short. I did quickly try to say that I was getting off of the long here in Sundial. I went over to go manage GameStop. I should have turned short there. I said this is going to be the weak one. There it is, through 80. Now looking like it's continuing to be a sell, guys. I'm going to be shorting Sundial probably until it gets back to at least that 84 or 85 level that it was a bit of a failed breakout. Even though we got the top here, but unless you were really, really fast on your hands, no way you got that top. So I'm looking for a sell on Sundial below 85, probably all the way to 80. I try to take positions.
Okay, so we survived the AMC halt, actually. It wasn't so bad. So we got out of there, and we're still in a little bit, but here comes the downside. What's up, Pete?
They're trading Tesla. If anyone's watching Tesla, heads up, SpaceX flight that was scheduled for today apparently canceled. There was a bit of a reaction to that on the sell side. Don't know why on Tesla stock, but some selling coming in on Tesla, guys.
There was another story that I thought was a negative for SpaceX there, and we talked about Tesla. I mean, look, unless it's literally buying off of 800 or getting a shot at 900, the middle has been an ugly road. I shouldn't say that. It's just been a boring road, I think, for Tesla. And this SEIB, now this is the second time it's halted. I said it looked relatively weak. However, it broke the low, 14, bounced up here. You get an up halt, now immediately halting to the downside. If this thing breaks out of 14, there's probably going to be some momentum plays to the upside. But my caution here is, and we said this in our risk video, which you guys can check out, don't get caught in successive halts. This stock is already showing in the last few minutes it cannot stay open for more than a minute. That is a trap when it comes to liquidity. Notice AMC doing fantastic liquidity. It's a lot safe. I mean, it's volatile, of course. But when it usually opens up, it does give you a chance to be able to trade in it for a couple of minutes before things go absolutely ham.
Yeah, I'm just making sure that my keys are good. Okay, I got them now. Thank you, Greg, for that. I had them. The problem is I had my market on open keys, not my limit on open keys. Okay, all right, so big size here on AMC. We just got back and forth there a little bit. Nothing really happening there for us on AMC. Let's just wait to see now if it takes out 14. My largest stock today is AMC. Really, my only real positive stock today has been AMC off all these plays. Everything else has kind of faded out, man. We tried Naked Brands again through $2 and failed. And we got out that 190 break again. So I still think it could go, but a lot of these stocks, man, remember it's Friday, it's options expiration day as well. So there's lots going on here. And then if you can, guys, we'll get back to trading, but like 1.8K likes, that needs to turn around. Make that little thumb blue if you can. That would be great. It's a free show. We're showing you live level 2s, live halts, live everything, trying to ask you guys questions. And we were just debating having a members only chat. I see there's a lot of people asking for that. So we are going to work on that for you. But there's Naked Brand still trying to go. And I'm looking at Nokia starting to get some legs here.
It's, I was actually just looking at Nokia the same way. Back through that 5 even, holds that consolidation at the bottom, guys. Look, if it was a failed break at the top, and when failed breaks go the second time, sometimes that's the better play. Flush out some of the weak hands. Admittedly, that was me back at 510, but in the pre-market, try to have a tight risk there, and if you got stubborn, you're in a little bit of trouble. If we hold above 510 and you get that same range we had before, 510 to 515, not a bad idea. Build a position there or wait for the break. This is going to be the name of the game for me. I did just get into Sundial. That's the one I feel like I'm going to be shorting today. First off of 80, then probably off an 85 level. Brendan?
J&J holding up pretty strongly, guys. We just had another volume alert there as we headed through 164. Back down again, but this 162.5 seems to be support so far for J&J at the bottom, guys.
Yeah, J&J, big news today for J&J, obviously, as we've talked about that a couple times here on the show already. So I did take that 06 there, breaking through VWAP. I was going to try to give it to the low again, similar to where we did before, 90s, something like that. That was that ultimate low. I guess got to change my order. I just put it at 90 there, but it's really at 88 or so right there, that very bottom. Look, if it goes down, and we'll get out. But it has to break that day's low for me to know that I'm wrong on this Nokia. Nokia has been going crazy. It looks like we will be wrong. The momentum has definitely died here. So we're debating taking a little bit off right now, but let's let it roll here. It's been a big Friday, big day, big month, big week, big everything. Let's let some of these profits roll. As Ja Rule says, hold the line, guys. Hold the line, whatever that means.
And we all know we all got to get more Ja Rule in our lives, certainly. I'm just watching Macy's here. Macy's a big action off the top, like a dollar move downside, recovers it upside. Now making a bottom off pre-market lows here, 1630. I'm going to take a smaller position because I saw some tomfoolery on the bid there just a second ago. I like the chart, so that's why I sort of set this one up here. And I'm going to have the position, but it just looked a little bit shady to me what I saw in level 2. I'm going to give it not to the low of the day, but I'm giving it sort of a very, very tight to the 1630, the previous low. This is what I meant here. Just a bit of, it's not a stacked bid, but it was, putting those orders in, someone pulling them, moving the price. So if someone's playing games here, I'm going to have a tight stop, maybe like a 1630, give it a couple of pennies past there, and see if we can't retrace. I'm going to trade the range here on a Macy's. It's been one of the names that's had some momentum to it. We'll see if that can't continue. Going to go to Brendan and come back to GameStop.
Just remember, guys, if you're having a look at Novavax, this is a stock that just has wild moves sometimes, especially when there's news behind it. Trying to hold a little bit of support from the pre-market here, 175. It's already come off from 225 to 175, guys.
Oh, wow.
What's GameStop doing? So right now, I'm just getting some orders ready to go here. Nokia, so it holds that line there at 5. I'm always going to be saying that because of our friend Ja Rule there. And you know what I was thinking last night? It's like, in times like these, who else better to get advice from than Ja Rule? I mean, I was actually thinking as it was happening, like, I can't wait for Ja Rule to tweet something because I'm so excited to hear what he had to say. And then there you go. He said it. He said something. So, thanks for that. Okay, up to 14. I don't know if we get to 1450 there, but that's the AMC number that we're looking at, 1463. I really think it needs to break through 1450 for this trade to work. So we'll average in a little bit to this one.
Guys, here's that dip. Remember we talked about this, the dip on GameStop potentially? to like that 350 area, down to the bottom and then breaking back through 350. So there it was. I'm going to scalp in and out like a $5 move here. I'm going to hold, sort of hold line the rest of this. 400's too big of a level, and we're day trading here, guys. This is not, I couldn't hold this overnight if I wanted to. So if it gets to that 400, I'll definitely be out in front of it. But I'll tell you, there was a wall at 350. There was a first reversal there. If it pulls back and can hold this 340 area, I think all kinds of reasons that you could retest 400 here on GameStop. Brendan?
A little bit of profit taking initially on some of these crypto stocks, guys, from the watch list. BTBT straight through 24 down to 21 there. Trying to bounce now, but pretty weak initially for some of these blockchain stocks, guys.
Okay, so everything working for us right now. We're pretty happy with this turnaround. We'll take some out here at 10s, then 11, 10s, I guess. Yeah, double filled at 10. Sorry, I guess we got some 9s and some 10s. I don't know why we got 9s there. I must have hit the wrong key. So right now we're still long 06 on Nokia. Check back on everyone's favorite, I guess, AMC or GameStop. Neil's on that GameStop tip. I'm on AMC right now, so I think that's a very, very funny how that works. I mean, that's why two of us are doing the show. If there's a symbol that I'm missing, Neil's hopefully got it, and vice versa.
I don't even have it.
Go ahead, Neil. What was that?
No, apologies. There's literally the last name on our watch list here, and I did like it for a short opportunity, and I just took it on this little pop here. And I never even talked about it because I didn't think it would be very exciting for you guys. But anyways, I got this BLCM, and I wanted it on a push to 550. And sometimes you identify a level, I just threw my orders out. I'm like, yeah, on the off chance it gets there, I'll just go short in front of it. This is 541, and it's already reversing for me. But I don't know. I probably shouldn't have even had this in the first place.
Okay, I don't like what's happening here on AMC. I actually have a feeling this is probably going to halt again right now. We're going to get out right here. Watch, it's moving down. The offer's getting up. We just cleared out of our AMC position. I'm wondering if this is going to halt, guys, to the downside possibly.
Yeah, and I don't know.
There it goes.
One of the things you should do, and I tell this to my traders all the time, if you ever have a stop that triggers and doesn't fill you, and my backstop on GameStop didn't fill when I moved it to break even, get out of the position and worry about what happened later. So that's exactly what I did. It might actually go here. It's going to test 350 one more time, but I had to get some orders out on that BLCM just to cover it. I mean, I did get into it. I do have it. I don't love it necessarily as much as the others, so I'll go ahead and put a tight stop. And if it can reverse, fine, but I don't want to be stuck holding the bag on something like that when there's far more exciting names to get to. I did talk about that Naked Brands reload. I got just about everything out, had that last 10% of the position, and it looks like it might take out the bottom again. So it was a good bounce, but if it's over here at 180, you're not going to see me hold on to this position past this price, guys. So I'm getting out of Naked Brands. It's a 184 long I have. Once we break, and I shouldn't say 180. I might move it to 179 just because they're stacking a bid below that 180 price. You know what? I might change my mind on this. If this holds up, I'm going to watch level 2. If these bids hold up and they're really legit, 77, 78, 79 on a 180 break, yeah. And a lot of people probably just blindly put their stop looking at the chart and saying, oh, if it breaks 180, I'm out. If those are real bids, it's probably going to snap back up.
Yes, exactly. So I'm waiting 1270. I'm trying to hold the line 1270 down here for AMC. So we've been averaging into the long a little bit here. We're long at 1381. No problem. Okay, Nokia though, we are getting out of this. Oh wow. Okay, I was just going to say we did get out of this one. Very good trade there on Nokia as we were able to get out. Same kind of tops, man. When we run into these tops again, you got to take some off. Look at it now coming back to the downside. We just took some 11s there, but we were getting 17, 18, 16s. I think our best out there was 17 on the high side of Nokia. So good trading there, but now you're seeing it fail off that previous high. So again, we talk about YOLO trading. Nothing wrong with trading these names. I know Neil just talked about his Naked Brand out or risk management there. It's the exact same thing for Nokia, for all of these names. You got to have some kind of outs. You got to look at past levels. Like, I know that we all want these things to moon, and hopefully they do, but I still don't think there's any problem taking off a little bit of profit. Pay yourself first, and then look to try to, like get back a cost base or something so that even if you lose, you still got something in the kitty for next time, because guess what? Monday is just around the corner. And I mean, today's just starting. So let's just be responsible. We never know what this day is going to bring, guys. So that's why we take some off at the upside. And now we're getting a little nervous as it looks like it's
you got to, if you want to be there for the good times, you got to be there. And that sort of always means in trading, you have to, like, your count's got to be live. Certainly, obviously, I'm always going to scalp a portion of these trades just so you manage your risk, and that's going to be the case in that GameStop. It did reverse at 65, and yeah, certainly I could have gotten out, like taking a $15 winner. That wasn't what I was looking for, so that's why I didn't do it. I just showed you midstream, and this is why we try to show you guys a level 2, and I don't mind, saying, look, people are going to have a stop at 180 when they look at a chart like this. I showed you the level 2 deep behind that book. If real, I mean, if they're legitimate offers that hold the line, when it breaks that 180, then it's likely to pop right back up. It seems like, and I reloaded back into some of this, guys, it seems like it's going to possibly break out here. If it goes to 2, I will do the same thing I did before, which is take profits on the way to $2. It's just because of how we trade and the structure that we have, sort of low fees here at Day Trade the World, and we're very active, of course. It just makes sense to do some scalping and then ride the profits, bank some, ride the profits for a bigger move. Brendan, what's up?
Not seeing headlines on this at first glance, guys, but Social Capital's IPOE with a massive move here, 27%, just ripped from $23 to $26 in a straight line on huge volumes for IPOE. The deal for this one already announced, though, guys.
Yeah. Which one was that? That's not Clover. No, that's IPOE is what, the environmental name there?
Oh, Chamath was he tweeted this out, and he was saying alternatives to Robinhood, and he listed his own name there, IPOE. I do forget the name of the actual company as well, because obviously we're busy here doing some other things. I just took some more shares out on that Naked Brands reload at 181 that we talked about. 90 is trying to break here. Here's a quick look at level 2. This was a big level. You can see it's continuously refreshing. That's the reason I took another 10% off the position, even though I was already getting out on the way up to it. If it breaks, I'm looking somewhat in front of 195, and then probably all flat in front of 2, just because it's feeling a little bit weak to me, and at some point it is going to test that 180, and the stand is going to have to be made or broken to the downside. It might just be here as well. Brendan?
Just to confirm, IPOE is SoFi, Social Finance. That was announced a month or so ago. There's INAQ, which I believe is the more environmental play. Not moving at the moment, but still searching, guys, for IPOE.
Yeah, exactly. We know it's one of those Chamath SPACs. So good on that. We did take another long there, but we're getting a little nervous here about AMC, as it's now dipping down below 13. So we are trying to watch out what's happening here. The out's going to be at 1270. We'll probably get out of that soon. And then, we're not going to turn negative on the stock, that's for sure. But we are giving back some of the day's profits here on this average in long. But I mean, we're only giving back profits until we get out. So we're going to try to hold that as much as we can. But that out is 1270. So not looking great there for our friend AMC. Hopefully that can bounce. But what is looking good, though, right now is Nokia. And this is why I think it's very prudent for all of us to trade multiple symbols at the same time if you can, and you have enough capital to afford that. But there's Unity. Thank you so much, guys. Just keep on using that. Palantir to the north side now, 37, I guess, on Palantir. A good little trade. It gets as high as 39. Looking for some breakouts here on Palantir. Watch out for 37.30. I got to have a sip of water.
And you just reminded me that I should. Not that there's anything going parabolic in either direction today. Look, I just said this in the chat, and I should probably point it out here. Like, I've been working into this sundial short position.
Whoa.
And each time it tests this 78, it snaps back down. That's good for my short. And if it breaks the bottom, I might even consider taking more through 75 even. But it's making me nervous. This is a lot of consolidation here. If it breaks to the upside, I don't know. I wouldn't want to hold this all the way to 80. I mean, I'll probably have to take it out 78 half, 79, something in that range, which is a tighter stop than I wanted. But it's really gearing up, and I don't want this to be gearing up to the upside. And I've just essentially dug into a bit of a short position here, and I'm not going to add to it unless it breaks 75 downward. That would make a much more safe entry. I'd rather get a worse price with the momentum than average into it against the momentum in this situation, guys.
Yeah, good call. So we just we got out, not thank God. I mean, we did get out there of our AMC. It does break that 1270, so we get out and we don't have to worry about it going down to this 1240 level. Looking at yesterday, there's not going to be too many key levels there. If we can, I'm going to go long through 13 again just to try it. But yesterday's bottoms, I mean, some of these were blowout to bottoms there on that news of the halting of the trading and whatnot. So it's very, very hard to look there to talk about it there. Oh, Mr. Bakudescu, thank you so much for that. Your wife says I need to stop tuckering yourself out. I need water. Yeah, we all need water, guys. So let's just keep hydrated. And there we go. We take the long on AMC through 13. Let's see what happens now, guys.
Yeah, you cannot live without it. Last time I checked. Nokia is trying. This is the most disorderly. Well, I shouldn't say it's the most disorderly stock so far. I mean, every time it tries to break the high, it's just so whippy and choppy, which makes you say, I want to participate in this. Hopefully on on a push back to like 515, and then maybe it's just going to grind higher, and then we can scalp it on the way up. I feel like it's worked for me in naked brands, and somehow I haven't been doing it on Nokia, and that's been the way to play it seems. So I see you've got it here at 17, Sean. I might wait for a dip to catch it. It could be pie in my face if this one really goes, though.
Yeah. I mean, not pie in your face. I mean, there's so many stooks going right here, guys. We need to just be sure
here comes
that we have the right ones. Unfortunately, I did dump off that AMC a little bit too early there, obviously, on that drop. But we did take it back again here through 13. Doesn't look like it's going to work either. However, what's up, Beep?
Tread lightly on some of these at the moment, guys. GME, yeah, not doing much under 340 here, but UK commission-free trading platform Free Trade just saying they've disabled buy orders on these stocks today, guys.
All of them?
Here so.
Okay, I mean, look, obviously it's worth knowing. I just reloaded on Naked Brands when on this 180, and again, it took out that 180, filled the entire level. It was at least a few 100,000 shares when I caught it. 78, 79, 70. All these bids are still here. They didn't budge, which obviously when you're threatening that big buy order in 180, if they had been, let's call it fake orders, good chance they would have flushed when that level disappeared momentarily. So I reloaded because of that. Let's see if we can't get back up to 190 here and then hopefully test 2. I actually have my orders out already. So back to you, Brennan.
It's on second read. It's actually U.S. stocks. So all U.S. stocks, guys.
Okay, so I'm going to say it's a nothing burger then, because if they're going to restrict all U.S. stocks, then okay. Still matters though, because a lot of retail, obviously, looking at AMC, looking at GameStop and whatnot. But there goes AMC, still trying to break through 13. We're going to hold tight, try to hold tight on that one. Anyways, wow, GameStop. I mean, look how orderly this is right now. 334, 330, just really not doing too much there on GameStop. Look for a break, I guess, below 291, maybe on GameStop. I know we don't want to look at low levels, but that is always a possibility, guys.
Watch out. Those levels are breaking on Naked Brands here. So I just saw both that 77 and 78 level go. So I'm just going to take it off here. I saw both those lines break. You can see like right there, my live execution, my level 2's over here. But at the same time, Sundial was making a move to the downside. So I did short into it a little bit more when I saw the momentum, and then this happened. A million shares on the bid here, which is getting chewed through, so I'm going to hold off on taking the rest of this thing until it actually breaks this 75 level, and if I get any shares. Yeah, I didn't cross down far enough, so I mean, my order's probably stuck back at 74.5. I got to find out where this might go. I do have a position short side on Sundial. If it comes and pops back up to 75, I'll get a fill. But 70 looks like yesterday. 65 to 70 is a reasonable target, so I can reload on this. I feel pretty comfortable there.
All right, so AMC, a little bit of a problem right now going to the downside, so we're going to wait for that one. I'm going to probably just use this 1180 bottom here. If it does continue to go, I will average in just a couple more times, and that's about it now. So we just took some 50s there. So now let's wait to see our average price still at 1298. So yeah, not working out for us on AMC. We were monstrous on this name early and now falling down. So, and there it is. We'd be responsible with Nokia. That falls back down. So I think the short is in on a lot of these stocks right now, guys. Just watch out and be careful with whatever you're trading. I know we just mentioned that a couple times, but here goes Nokia to the downside. We are loaded now up on AMC. Let's see what happens now.
Yeah, I'm going to do a bit of a backflip. And again, just went right to the higher time frame to decide where I wanted to take some of these shares out and if I wanted to get more. On Sundial, I was rolling into this short in that consolidation. I had tightened my stop up a little bit, and I said I'd get some more shares if it broke 75. I never actually got those, so you'll still see my price at 76. It stalled some at 72 here. I started taking 73s and 72s off. I still have bids in front of that 70. I just went to look at yesterday's price action to find a bit of a bottom there. It's good. I just like having targets when we trade these names. I did tell you guys that this SIEB has a chance to run. I'd probably stay away from it simply because I didn't think it would hold up in terms of being able to trade without halting every 2 seconds, and that for now seems to be true, but it is making a grind to the upside, and this time it's still open, so I'd watch out for like an 18. This stock has a chance to, it's up 340%, but the lack of liquidity, yeah, this could squeeze a little bit higher, though I didn't see a huge short interest on it, so it was a bit puzzling to me why this one was going, but either way, it seems like that's happening now anyways, guys.
Okay, so we're again, 1180, the line there on AMC. Looking to probably take Rocket Mortgage here if we break above some of these levels here. I think it's got to go. Yesterday, we recommended this to you guys yesterday. It was up like 20, 30% in the pre-market. It's fallen right back down. I still like it. Feb 9th is the earnings. I think it's we'll watch and see what happens. But 23.40 right now is going to be my long. I'm not going to wait for view up. If it can get going here and break, we will take that Rocket Companies to the high side, 23.40. But right now, it's coming off. This might actually be a better short through 22.40. Got a nice little dollar range here. Brendan, at the big screen, give it to us, buddy.
Hey guys, 10 o'clock. Let's have a quick look at North American markets. We're off the lows, however, still in negative territory. You can see we're trying to bounce here, but 0.6, 0.75%, S&P and the Dow. The NASDAQ leading the way here, 0.86%. Specifically, the 100, the composite, only 0.65%. Russell small caps trying to go positive here for small caps. So heads up on some of those names. The TSX here in Toronto, 0.6%. If you're joining us down in Brazil, full 1.5% to the downside. This Novavax, I talked about this 175. Yeah, that held and worked quite nicely. We're all the way back to 200 for NVAX, now 50% once again to the upside. Another one from the watch list here, J&J still struggling here. There is support, it looks like 162 to 160, but trading at day low, still down 4% for Johnson & Johnson, guys.
Yeah, I guess that efficacy obviously affecting it a little more than we had thought it would, I guess.
I'm surprised. I
thought they would, I thought they would hit this out of the park. And but you know what? Whatever. This is J&J. I think this is a good opportunity to buy some more J&J here. Not really trading super exciting, but you're right, though, that did hit that high there, Brendan, like you mentioned, they're 165 and change there, the high. So it did come in, but right now, yeah, J&J, I don't think it takes out that high.
A big level here, opening range low coming up here in GameStop. 300 just broke. I'm looking at 290. I'm not shorting.
There's that 291 I talked about, right?
Yeah, like you said, there's 291. It's not halting here, but if it breaks the bottom, I would think that there's a good chance that low gets broken. You'll probably see a downside halt. If there are successive downside halts, I'd look to pick a bottom on that move. Naked Brands just breaking 165. I reloaded in Sundial. That one I liked in front of 75 even. I'd prefer Naked Brands if it got to 175. That we talked about this GBR a little bit. Thought that it would be weak. That's been true, but just like the STIB or SEIB or whatever the heck it is, this one coming back to the upside after successive halts. And watch out this 15 level. Halt downside, reopen top, even level, all those things that you want to look at. Could be a bit of a break in GBR through 15. It's come back, so it's down 42%, but just remember what happened to this stock yesterday. Lots of room. It got to 30, so it's actually been cut in half since then. I'm looking at a 15 break. Once these things halt a couple of times, if it can stay open and I can find a level, then I like playing it a heck of a lot better. So GBR 15, long break for me.
Yeah, true that. Yeah, again, guys, I mean, just play your game and you'll be fine. So, okay, here we go. Okay, a nice little move. All right, I'm feeling this one now. Let's take a little bit off if we can now for this as we battle some back here on AMC. My chart looks like a mess, and I apologize. Maybe I should take off. You know, I'm going to take off these well, if I do, then you can't see them. Too many executions here, obviously, at the bottom. Was very nervous about that 12. Was very nervous about this 1180, but we did call that 1180, so if we believe in it, we should hold on a little bit longer to some of these trades, but we were piecing some off on a nice little move back to the upside there for AMC, and now we have, I don't know, we still have about 70% of our long, but average, like, I don't normally take 4 average in, so that's why we're a little nervous. We have more shares than we're probably comfortable with, but we'll just keep watching it going to the high side now. I still think, like, I mean, if it gets ramped up, we know it can go back to 14. So let's hold these, see if we can't get a 14 break now back on AMC.
Yeah, I just, like I said, I preferred it around 175, that Naked Brands, and we're looking, like, staring it right in the face right now. I should have taken like 73, 74, but I ended up taking some 72s there when it did make that move. I actually don't even want to hold this. Sometimes I'll let it break the level, have a look-see on the other side of it if it catches a bit of a bid. If it does, get out. If it doesn't, maybe double down on the position. Look, when these things make a bottom, and that also happens to coincide with a bottom at a short that I tried earlier. If this is at 160 level, I was short pre-market, it bounced from there. Now we're bouncing hot in front of it. Not always the best place to get really stubborn and dig in too deep, guys. So I'll probably be getting out at a 175 and then looking for a reversal to the long side on Naked Brands through 175. So sometimes I'd be going the other way. I kind of look at what would scare me. and then think maybe some other shorts are thinking what I would normally be doing. That's why I want to reverse long.
Okay, Nokia. Yeah, good talk there. Let's look back at Nokia, bottom of 5. I'd rather take the break. We have view up at 08, but I kind of like this 05 break. So if we can get 06s on our friend Nokia, which is not a friend of mine today, but it's been a good one. We had Nokia last couple of days. Shout out to our family there, our trading family, watching. You guys brought Nokia to me and to our attention before. GameStop, quick look back at GameStop. Wow, Neil. Okay, it touched basically that exact bottom again. 290, we gave you that 290, 291 level. It touched it. I guess that's real. You had it up on your screen when that was happening.
It was real as far as I saw. I mean, it was a great call for a level there, Sean. I mean, this is, and I know you guys want to, there's lots of positions to talk about. We're trying our best to talk you through what we're seeing live, level 2, going back to higher time frames, decision-making process, and I know it happens fast. I was literally blabbering through why I was reversing a short that I might normally be digging into, and there you go. Here's Naked Brands just broke. I reversed at 76. I'm going to start taking it out on the way to 190. So this is the thing. Conditions changed real time while I was looking at the previous levels that I was shorting into. And so you take the long, it's looking like it wants to break. It's still a downward trend. That's why it's only a scalp and not a hold for a bigger move. But either way, that was the thought process. You saw it live a couple of seconds later. I'm covering in front of 80 and hoping we can continue this move to the upside.
Yeah, so right now the only position I have on right now is AMC, but it's starting to go. We're long at 1250 now. We've taken a bath on this going downside, but we could make this back if we do get that 14 and sort of just back to the high side there a little bit. Naked Brands, good call for that one. I know you're long on Naked Brands. Great little bottom pick there off of this pre-market bottom. We talk about why you need to look at those pre-market levels. I know Neil just talked about that. So great trade there. I believe you're long, Neil. So that's... Yeah, okay, good. So I'm not delusional. We will wait for this to break as well. I'm going to go long through 86, 87 there if it goes. But here goes AMC finally to 1280 right here. What's up, Brad?
We had this one on the watch list this morning, guys, that Faraday SPAC, PSAC, another one getting into the EV space. Just tried to break 2050 there. Big failure on volume. So we are still significantly higher from yesterday at 16, but some selling coming in. Top end of the range, guys, for PSAC. You
know the irony? I'm almost certain when I sent my morning tweet out, I was like, let's try not to forget about that Faraday SPAC because obviously I thought it had good performance yesterday. Of course, there's a big pullback here on 185, and of course, I end up ignoring it altogether. So it is what it is. You see what's moving in the market, and you see the fact that, I didn't even know. I just looked at my program monitor. Sean has 2 positions. I've got 2. Plus, one of these days, I'll show you what's going on with that other one. I do some market making on that QMX, and the level 2 looks kind of funny. So we'll show you that a bit later. But back to Naked Brands, 185, bought this off this sort of pre-market dip level, scalp it out. Buy off the same level, scalp it up. We told you everything that was happening at 180, and that's why I stayed away from it. I got in one time for less shares, and then immediately covered it. Waited for the turn, was going to short that move, and then immediately told you guys it looked like a bit of a long play. So I've taken 90% of it out because I said it's going to be more of a scalp game, just like we're doing all the way. If it goes to $2, I'll only hold that last little 10%. If it breaks back below that 175, I am out and looking for the next play here. Now, if you're shorting these pops and holding, that's also working for you. I've just chosen not to take that route. Either one would be working. I could technically be doing both, but sometimes having a bias is a little bit easier to manage. Brendan?
We talked about this a little bit yesterday, guys, but more coming out on Facebook's oversight committee results that we mentioned yesterday. Looks like they're going to have an open forum, some public comments being accepted, but that is not it. Have a look at Facebook if you can bring it up real quick. Here's the daily chart. We're heading downside today on Facebook, 2%, guys.
All right, so we just got into some Naked Brands, not really working out for us, but here's, it's working out, it's not doing anything. Here goes AMC, finally, we got 1223s, but we have taken a hit on this, right? So we're not going to try to get that too twisted there. AMC, we did have a good trade, but it has come back for us. So we are gonna watch out for AMC now. We do have it, I like a 13 break to the high side again, so let's watch out for, I think 13.25, something like that. Let's not take the break right away at 13. There goes Naked. We tried it through 185. It didn't work, so we got out at 182. So a quick hit there on Naked Brands. No damage done for that one. I still think it could go, but maybe we got to give it a little more juice to the high side there. And I don't know if the stock breaks out anymore today. So 190 there, I guess, on Naked Brands would be the one to look for.
Yeah, and we show our winners and our losers. And I know sometimes it goes really, really fast. fast. I talked about that short into BLCM. This is one which, it's ultimately true that it might continue this trend to the downside, and had I held on to this short, it'd be fantastic, but I just can't do that, guys. There's just no fighting this one here, so I got out of it. I wanted to trade some other names more heavily. That's why we're going over to like Naked Brands. I'm still holding on to that sundial short position and just focusing on what's working for me over here, guys. But let's go to Brennan.
Looks like AstraZeneca, more vaccine news here, guys. AstraZeneca getting European approval, possibly. Volume coming in here on AZN, on EMA approval, guys.
EME. Oh, they did get EMEA approval. Okay, we can look at that for sure. And there was actually a lot of negativity around the EMEA because they were really, really slow to approve a lot of these vaccines. So AZN, sorry, I thought it was a NASDAQ. I mean, it is a NASDAQ stock. I thought it was, and it is. Okay, so AstraZeneca there today. Where are my charts? Oh, it's because it didn't switch it. AZN.NQ. Let's see what kind of move it is. Obviously not doing anything right now, but that's good news. So I haven't been a fan of these vaccine plays intraday. We've talked about that. If you got to get them, you got to get them earlier. Like mRNA, we talked about that in the pre-market. What we were like, why is this thing up to 200? Come on, charts. There we go. Let's just refresh one more time. Up to 216, 217. Made no sense. Like they went up on bad J&J news is all that we could figure here on the desk, but now fading back down. So that, that's the kind of play that I would prefer, not intraday. Make the play on some maybe bad pricing there early on.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I got to do something to myself here that's like, just throw me in front of a train for that one because I kind of mentioned this in our pre-market prep, and obviously it was a bit different prep because the market started taking off and it was right into trading a little bit more than it would ever have been at 9:15. So it's hard to have caught everything, but we did talk about how AAL made a similar move, and when it broke the bottom, there was plenty of room to the downside. Wow, this could have been my day here, shorting that bottom break. But either way, you got to move on from these things. I do like the fact that it's consolidating higher. I mean, you're seeing this 175 level try to hold here. You know what? I mean, a lot of times I'll see a play like this, and it seems like a small range, but this is like $5 in here. And if there's a chance, if we bounce, and we just bounced below 175 here, if it catches any kind of a bid, I mean, not really offering too much. Now they are at 182, but yeah, like I said, not offering too much. If we blow back up, and every time it fails 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times to get any push to the downside, then you start thinking about a bit of a breakout, right? So the top end of this range here, that 180, 181 or so, could be one to file away here on Moderna for a breakout, so long as this level has held. If this breaks and we go down to 165, throw that out the window.
Brendan.
Apple on the list yesterday, guys. Another down, or today, I should say, not yesterday. Another down move here for Apple following earnings, but coming into some significant levels. 135, 134 seems to be holding at the moment. Just had a volume alert for Apple, guys.
Must have had that percentage wrong, I guess, in the pre-market there on our board, because I was like, why was that down 4%? Remember, I was like, we got to buy Apple, but let's see if that was the case there. I like Apple. It just, unfortunately, we're too lit up on all these other stocks right now, and lit up in a good way too, guys. Don't think that's the other way around. But okay, 11, this Apple level here, 135. Like Apple shouldn't be down. They had a monster quarter as well, just like Facebook, just like Softy. Softy touched all-time highs yesterday, I believe, on that rebound of the NASDAQ, or it could have been 2 days ago. 135.27 there. A good spot for Apple to take out the top. I'm still waiting for Rocket to go as well. We just took some more shares also on AMC through 13, guys.
Yeah, and man, getting thirsty over here. It's a lot of talking. It's a lot of trading. It's like 10:15, and I don't usually have 240 executions at that point. But it's probably more a function of scalping Sundial and Naked Brands. Now, Sundial, I've rolled into this again. It was above that 75 that I first played it. That gave you one little flush. Now I'm sort of in front of this 75. It tried to break through, and I like fail breaks, so I got this to 74.5 the first time. When it broke 75, it slammed right back down. That's why I took some more shares in. I said I'd hold off until the momentum looked like it was with me. Now it's marching back to the upside. So I'll probably only give this to 75.5, which is only like a penny worth of risk, guys. It's really not a heck of a lot. But in terms of a percentage move, of course, Sundial is a 75-cent stock. So keep that in mind. If this ever gets back above 80, well, more like a 79 level, I would say, could be worth a shot at a long break. It's a long ways away from there, but if it changes sentiment, I want to have a plan of action before we get in.
Like, what is going on here with Nokia? I know I have a lot of transactions here. Neil already mentioned, 260 for myself as well today. And yeah, a lot of it was upside there. This was an order that I had left in the pre-market, so it wasn't a big order type to go through there on Nokia because I was looking for a pre-market break and we didn't reload it, so that's why that's there. But still, I thought it was going to break through. Otherwise, we would have canceled that order. I mean, I put it in there thinking that was going to be good to go, and then we took the 06s, and the best we got here was a VWAP rejection at 08. So this is a 1-minute chart, and we got that rejection. So now I'm trying to get out of a little bit here at 04. As you can see, it's trying to push down. I was going to hold the rest till 88, but I'm not sure anymore. This 5 may be a good out right there to get out some if it does break back down below 5. I think if it breaks 5, we probably do test 88. So possibly a short there as well. And our AMC is trying, guys. We did take a nice little out there right at VWAP again, 1340. Our best out 29s on that move. We punched through 13 to go long there as well. So let's see what happens here on AMC, Brendan.
I just saw somebody mentioning this one as well. PLTR, Palantir. Yeah, nice bounce today, 3.5% after the down move. Tested 37 there. Volume came in at 37. So trying to break back to the upside here for Palantir. Overall, pretty choppy though, guys.
When do we usually just call it Palantir with the PLTR. He threw me off. I was like, what symbol is he about to say there? But either way, I want to go back to BlackBerry. I know we've neglected a few. Sometimes a reversal is a good idea. That last of my long, what I got smoked on at 17, yeah, that should have been an obvious idea to turn into a short. And if that wasn't, we always go back and then look at these pre-market lows at 1650, failed retake of that level. And when it comes back down and consolidates, this is what I'm showing here. This is at bottom, 1650. It failed, breaks back up, and then gives you consolidation lower. What I'd look for there is in a day trade, you just short like 35s, 40, whatever you can get, and then your out can either be that 75, which I think is more reasonable, a little higher than that, or you have a tight stop to that 50, depending on your risk and what you're comfortable with, and then you just try to ride it to the bottom. That's exactly what's happening here in BlackBerry. It's still up on the day, believe it or not. Speaking of another thing that is up, there was a 200 break, and I said I'd wait around for Boeing and before we got into this one. There was a 200 break several times here, failure at the high of day, and then if we get back below this 200, that's a trade I usually like if I'm bearish on a stock in the short term here. So I'm going to watch Boeing, 200 break. I'd like to take this one down into VWAP here. So it's probably like $1 worth of a scalp, which means I'm not giving it to the high of the day. Pure momentum play here. I'd love to see the volume continue to hold up on Boeing. If it really tapers off, I'm going to probably step away from that break. But it looks like it's going to be a good one. Thank you, Lucas. Reloading the water in the background here because it's thirsty work here. Trading live for you guys, but if Boeing comes through 200, I'm looking for a breakdown short on the downside.
Okay, so we'll fall in a hole there because we did get out of our flush it down there on AMC. Yeah, downside, a 1250 break. Damn it, like, why did that have to happen to us one more time there on AMC on that flush? So, yeah, we tried it again. It didn't work. I'll take a 1275 break lightly and then see what happens for the north side. I don't ever hear Brendan hitting the keyboard or anything. He's pretty low key there. So now I hear him hitting that. Is everything all right up there, Brendo? Where is he? Oh, he's at the desk. Oh, okay. He just got up. That's all. I thought Brendan hit the desk there, and I was like, uh-oh, Brendan was stuck in a position, but he's not. We are getting ready for our next segment, however. Oh, and is it coming up 1, 2, or 3, guys, for our guest today? 3. Okay, so coming up, number 3 right here. He's back. Michael Arbach is back, baby. Submersive Capital, talking about a whole bunch of different companies coming through. Brendan will have him today, I believe, at 11:15, Brendan? Yes, sir. He gives that nod. Brendan, Mr. Everything around here. Thank you so much for all the hard work that Brendan does for sure. And with that being said, off to Mr. Wickens at the big board. Kill it, my friend.
Hey guys, yeah, Michael Arbach is going to tell us about another deal in the cannabis sector. Subversive Capital, a SPAC trading here in Toronto. So another deal in the cannabis sector coming through. I'll give you my take on these crazy stocks once again today. Here's Naked Brands to start. Pretty easy break above the high in the pre-market there, up to 230. Once we retake that level, I say this all the time, get above a significant level with strength, you go with the momentum. Holds below that same significant level, gives you a shot back down to 150 on the short side for Naked Brands. It's worth mentioning, on some of these, including Naked Brands, volume already dying off a little bit. EXPR from a couple of days ago, another one that's been moving with this group. There was a big cluster, as Mark likes to say, 750 to 8. Was below that in the pre-market, got a nice push into 750. We're all the way down to 550 now on this EXPR. I did try it here one time with a tight little stop above that pivot, but take 2 shots. Second one usually works out for you. SIEB, this stock is nuts, as Neil has been talking about here. There was a little consolidation here heading into the open, gave you a little bit of a break. That's a $2 move, if you can believe that. This range on this stock is just massive today. That little tiny trade on the chart there. $2 move, guys, but SIEB, tread lightly. Back to you guys.
Yeah, that stock is tread lightly is definitely the word. Bit of a wedge forming here in GameStop. We talked about 290 a couple of times here, 1, 2 bottoms. Now a higher low trying to be put in off 300 even, like 304, 305. I'm kind of thinking if it does give you another push to the downside, there's going to be dark pool prints and block trades that'll go off, skewing the chart a bit. So sort of ignore those. I'd like to see it bounce off that level at least one more time before taking any kind of a long trade off of it. And have a stop. So always have a stop. You've got to have one. If it does break the low of the day in your intraday or day trading like we are here, you don't want to be hanging on. You don't want to get caught in a halt. I did have the second part of my position in a halt. You can see I didn't go short here, but this was my second out of this long here at 370, guys. So you got to watch out. Certainly I was trying to cover at 360 and the liquidity was just bleh. And so you make sure that you have both liquidity at the level that you're trying to get out and a level that you're comfortable with from a risk parameter. So those are the 2 things you want to make sure is there. If it happens at 300, that's a look I'm going to be taking on GameStop. I think we mentioned EXPR. If we didn't, I apologize. I do feel like this one was looking like one of the weak names. I know I've talked about that with Sundial, which I just covered when it broke 75.5. My short, that is. This was good off of 7 even. It was good off of that previous halt price. But it has made a bit of a bottom here, and it looks like it is trying to climb. So you can watch out for some of these if they're going to go in the afternoon or a little bit later on in the session. It does feel like EXPR could be one of those, at least if it holds this 6 even area, which it's testing right now. But the next thing for me is likely to be, you kidding me, GameStop? Yeah, forget about it. I guess it already went.
Yeah, so did AMC. Well, anyways, AMC, we tried to break a 13 there, and then I don't know what happened. It looks like It looks like 13 reloaded on us right there. So we took a 13 break, but then some big size did show up there at 13. So yeah, we got to tread a little bit lightly now. Watch out for this 1180 maybe on the downside. We are loaded up, man. We're loaded up above 13, unfortunately. We took a VWAP break of 1311 there. You can't see it because I have too many trades, but it wasn't a 1 minute VWAP, it was off the 3 minute VWAP there. 1311 break. I thought it could go, it's not. So now we're coming back to the downside here on AMC. So watch out for that one. Nokia looks like it's going to break 5. It did break 5 there. We'll dump some of them at 98. Then we'll watch for the very bottom there of what is this? 88. So look. Back and forth day today on some of these names. They go up, they go down. This is why we trade, guys. What's up, Beep?
Another one that made a big move in the pre-market was on the list as well this morning. Biogen, guys, BIIB. Yeah, 10% for this stock this morning. The FDA came out and extended their review period for an Alzheimer's treatment that the company's working on. That typically means that approval is coming for Biogen, possibly. But 10% here, guys. Yeah,
and just got that trade into Boeing when it broke that 200. So we got 99, 93, whatever. So 93 to the short side. I'll probably only give it to the quarters. I want this to go right away or not go at all. But I just mentioned GameStop, of course, missing that bounce off of 300. It is testing to 320 right now. There's really not very many significant levels in terms of, just in terms of size. Like there's not anyone's throwing massive obvious sell orders at like 320 or 325 that I've noticed. If that were the case, I'd be trying some breakout trades. I'm just not really seeing anything like that. So I've been holding off and only looking for some bounce plays. That's why I'm waiting for it to come to that 300. And if I can catch it bouncing off 3 and then coming up like it did here, that would be a nice little actionable in and out as fast as you can type play with a stop through 300, guys.
I'm trying to, I mean, the AMC is just so nuts, some of these levels. That's why I zoomed in here. Like, I still like this 1180 level, but I mean, I don't want to like hold this all the way down. But I mean, it looks like it's just coming downside now, AMC. So yeah, we may have to hold this to the downside. We're still up 46 As you can see, I'll move this over. We're still up 46% today, but it doesn't matter when you're long at 13 and it's at 1260. Not worried about the price action. Not worried about the price. I'm worried about the price action because you can see it's down, 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 down. It really hasn't, like all these breakouts really got stopped, man. I mean, it really hasn't been above this 1 minute VWAP except for the very first couple trades here in the AM, and by the AM, I mean, it's only 10:30, but yeah, this was a little bit of a problem area now for AMC, like 1320, 1340, things like that. So you really got to watch out there. And I am a little bit concerned now that we could retest this bottom, which will not be good for me if that does come through. But Brendan, what else do you have for us?
NEO, guys, some of the EV makers, this one included, very strong today, 2.75% here for NEO, trying to push back towards the top end of the range here, 60.25. Morgan Stanley aftermarket yesterday gave this one an upgrade price target increase. So NEO trying to go, guys.
Yeah, I mean, this actually interesting thing about NEO, if I can just pull back just to give you a couple of days of action, it's approaching this 61 level, and I always like to look to see it when it has like one of these gap ups and then just absolute, like a little failure here, it's kind of a big failure through 65. I start looking at where the top is after the next couple of days, and you see like 61 failure. We're just creeping and retesting it for the first time now. You still have it. It's not necessarily that it's a gap fill because it's a couple of days away, but there's still that push to 65, which did fail once. And if we can get through 61, if it doesn't happen today, look for this one maybe next week or so for a bit of a swing, or maybe we actually just get a pure breakout style play. So watch out. 61 looks pretty good to me. It does feel like we're running out of steam, both in the overall market and some of these hot names here. Even though the NASDAQ is creeping right now to try to get positive. So if you're looking at some of those tech names that are getting beaten up, like Facebook's, Apple was still down last I checked. They could be getting going as well. So a few names that are worth it to pick up for the long side. I'd wait for a 61 break, for me at least, to take a NEO trade because the dip into 58, 59 has seemed like it's been a better play, at least this morning.
So we took a little bit more AMC there at this bottom, 1240, 1230. I think it was 1237. Yeah, 1237 or so, up to 53 again. But our average price still 97. So go, if we can get it to go, that would be nice. We're still going to try to use this bottom, and I hate using bottoms, but yeah, I mean, I don't want to hold it through there. I don't know if it's going to halt if it does get to that level or not. I'll try to see if it's going to halt throughout the trade, but we'll wait on that one right now. It doesn't look like it has such a problem going upside, I find. Like it makes that nice bottom there. Let's see if it can now get some momentum back to the high side, which it's doing a little bit. So we'll see if we get a little bit off now as we make some of that money back a little bit anyways. Our Nokia, we talked about that and looked at it and said like, yeah, it dropped off through 5. So we did get out of half of our position there. I would still like this break of 510 basically, but again, with the price action, you can see, even if I zoom this back, it won't look as bad because we have a lot of trades today, but like 520 to the downside, it's just the momentum here, the trend, definitely to the downside. So sitting here holding along seems a little bit silly to me, but we're going to hold it anyways because we're trying to make a little bit of cash, and we're only going to use a bottom. We're pretty light on this one. The most capital I have invested right now is right over here with AMC. So if we get back, we're at 97 long. Let's see if we can't make a little bit of this back through 13 again finally, but it's struggling to get up. Like I said, there's a nice little run there on AMC. And then it stops. Thank God we got a little bit out, but we only got out 5%. So let's wait, see if we can get more out right now. If it stalls up here, then we'll look a little silly for not doing that, but let's get a little bit more out. And then I don't want to punch 13 again, but I really think that why can't we get back to 14 and change, guys, here on AMC? Let's see what happens.
Only because this seems like almost too crazy here. I'm just watching this Novavax bounce right off the pre-market low 170 after falling $50 at the open, or just before the open. You get this cluster. It failed at 219 or 220, whatever you want to call it. Couldn't really go any further than this bunch there, a bottom here at 210. Comes right back to the top. I mean, I'm short at 218. I just took this, and I almost don't want to give it past like a 220 or so, just to have a relatively tight stop on this trade, guys. It's just one of those, it's going to be too difficult for me not to take this setup when it's one I usually will have. So it is what it is. But and the reason I don't give this to the high of the day, that's just such a strong move. I mean, certainly if you want to give it to 225, 226, fair enough. You're risking $8. And if it comes to VWAP, you're making 15 to 18 or something along those lines. That's not a horrible risk to reward ratio. I just look at it from the standpoint of, Yeah, that's fine if you win 65, 70% of the time, or 70% of the time in particular. But when you're going against a grain like this, I'd rather do a trade that sets up for me that I only have to win this like 1 out of 3 times, 1 out of 4 times. I have to be right for this to be okay. I would certainly be taking some profit in front of this like 210 to 215 area. And then if it does come all the way back down to like 200 to 205, that's where I'd look to get the rest out. So I am stepping in front of this train here in Novavax, but my stop is very, very relatively tight at about like that 220 area, guys. So that's the thought of action here. If it gets blown out, no way I'm holding it to the high of the day. This one feels like it's just too strong to do that.
Okay, I'm gonna call this up here. We did talk about that. Oh, thank you. I missed this one. Thank you so much for the 5,000 yuan. I don't really know what that is, but thank you so much for that. And Nick, I mean, very, very good point here. Look, I'm trying to watch the chat as well for you guys. It's obviously scrolling like crazy, but a quick check. The 600 million convertible debt that was due, I think we saw that story. I believe Brendan gave us that earlier. Converted their debt into millions of shares, 44 million exactly at 13.51. So why sell below that level? Yeah, you're probably right. Why am I selling? But we're going to try to go now on AMC. We've already got a nice little bottom pick there. We've been suffering through. Look at Palantir. Who told this? Andrea, thank you so much for that. Or Andrea, thank you so much for Palantir. We've been looking at Palantir. I love Palantir. And yes, you are 100% right. Boom, Palantir, yes, sir. We're long this one, sub 10. So a big little trade there for a little trade there for Palantir for anybody that had that. Watch out for 38 breaking, and here goes AMC. Finally, let's see if it can go to the high side now. Watch out for, shoot, screw you, AMC. You should have broke 13.
Yeah, and speaking of breaks, of course I'm putting on that Novavax. It immediately gets taken out. That's one of the reasons I favored the tight stop on it, that 220. And then, of course, I end up seeing GameStop does go to that 305 area. It just bounced again. It's like a $5 to $7 scalp at this point, which you could have had relatively easy. It seems like relatively easily. The other way to play this, and look, it's got a dollar range, which isn't always favorable to the breakouts. That's why I keep saying if it takes out like a 25 or a 50 or a 30, something, one of those even numbers, I'd rather there be some real liquidity at that price that I can actually see and you're not guessing at. So you're not getting slipped by like, a couple of dollars just to get into the trade. I think that's a safer way to play it. BlackBerry.
Oh, yeah.
One of the other names making a bit of a range bottom here. So you had the big time flush, and we pointed this out a little bit earlier, 1575. Here's that actual bottom. It makes a couple of lower lows here before actually trying to creep up. Now 1560 to 70. It really needs to hold here. There's no other way to say it. It's still up on the day 7%. But if it doesn't hold this level, you can throw everything I'm about to say out the window. If we do, I'm looking 16 break here into VWAP. Nice little scalp trade idea. BlackBerry's had tons of liquidity. It's resisted halts, so you've never had to worry about that when trading this one, as opposed to some of the other names involved in these plays. So BlackBerry 16 still looks pretty good to me. Make sure I have my order locked and loaded, guys.
Yeah, I'm going to put one also to the high side for that one as well. So we're going to look at a 16 and then a 16 up here. VWAP 1650 break. So we'll see if that's coming through. But okay, check back on SNDL. We haven't done anything really on that. We did take this break earlier. We got most out up here 88, but dropped it off there, and then we were holding a little bit and dropped it off there in that consolidation. So we didn't have to worry about that move to the downside. But this is a name, again, I don't normally trade sub-dollar, but it doesn't matter. I mean, there's still lots of money to be made there. Over 300 million shares already on the day. So yeah, let's watch out for Sundial, especially if it does take out the 78, 79 again, which it looks like it's trying to do. But more to come on that one. And come on, AMC, like how long am I going to have to wait for you, Mr. Wicken?
Yeah, pretty tight ranges coming in here as far as price action is concerned. Just saw this one, guys, popping up again. Cost got back below 60 there briefly on an alert. This thing halted 3 times to the downside. Got all the way down here to 53, but bounced to 65. So they actually reported, if that matters. But yeah, working its way back down for costs, guys.
It's supposed to matter. I don't know. It might not actually matter that much, but I sort of, and I got out of my short on Sundial, I don't know, like 20 minutes ago, 15 minutes ago or so. I just felt like this was going to be coming to the upside. It couldn't break 72s. When you're in a position short and you can actually see the level 2, you can see the bid, you can see it bouncing off of a random price and buying sort of stepping in, velocity slowing down. You notice those things, and that's why lighter reload, tighter stop to get out. I'm looking at the same sort of thing here, that 77. The only thing I would say is 100% if I get into this, I'm looking at that 80 level, and I will be scalping out in front of it. So look, it's a 77-cent stock. If you don't think that 2 cents is a solid trade, maybe you can size up something along those lines. It's worth it for us to be able to take that kind of a trade, but that's what I'd be looking at. That 80 does feel like it would provide like some resistance. There's probably going to be a few sellers there, at least in my estimation, guys.
Yep. Okay. Yeah. No. Exactly. So look, AMC back now to 13. So let's wait and 1280. Let's wait to see what it does. We go back into the money. We're long at 1290, but we've given back most of our profits on this from today. We were long 1287. Look at this out that we had up there, 16. Like that's going to stand out like a sore thumb. I apologize for all this stupidity here, all these back and forth marks. I wish I could just take them off chart dependent, and I would take them off. But you know what? We can just take them. It's a right click here. Show your fills, right? So I'm going to take those away, make the chart look a little bit there. Let's just do that, man. Normally we show our fills, but today I'm not going to, only because I'll show them to you. I'll put them on and off, and I'll give you guys all my outs. You'll see them on the board. You'll see me get in and out of those positions. But here we go, right back to 13. So just watching this level, I like the chart looks better now, right? 1330, 1316. We'll try to take some out as well. But then I'm very, very careful about what's happened around this level. And that's sort of that level that you guys said, right? That 1355 or 1351, whatever that average price was on those 44 million converted shares. So let's go to the high side right now with AMC, guys.
And I love this community. I love you guys, and sometimes you know I love double tops at this time of day. You kidding me? I know Sean, this is your puppy right here, but that Palantir 38 double top, it actually broke. I see all ones as the high of the day, so I don't know, maybe actually let it break to like 2 or 3 before getting into it. But that's set up rather nicely for a bit of a push here. It's only up 5-6%. I mean, we've seen this do double that. I mean, obviously before. So I'm looking at that 38 for a break through the top, just seeing how much room we have to run here when you go to that daily chart. Oh wow, are we really talking about 1040 already? Because I can see the big screen as it is. I think we are ready.
No.
Give me a nod. No, we're not ready yet. Okay, so I'll get the order locked and loaded, ready to go. 38 long break on Palantir, double top. That's what I like.
Yeah. Okay. Oh yeah, Palantir. We love Palantir double tops, and excuse me, my throat today. I got a frog up in there, and don't worry, we're all feeling good. Just need to get some more water. Talking a lot this last week, and it's been a fun one, guys. Thank you for joining us. We've had a record showing this week from everybody today. Record viewers, record everything, and we're trying to break some records here. So Palantir always gives me emotions. Yes, good readings from Italy. Thank you so much for those 5 euros. We're loving Palantir. It makes me feel ways as well as my account continues to blow up. We're long that one, sub 10. Not options. Wish it was, but it's not. AMC trying to go as well through 13. Let's see if it can hold it. But now we are ready for Brendan. I'm going to go refill the coffee, and Brendan's going to take it from here, guys.
Hey guys, yeah, let's have a look at the overall S&P 500. Interesting board as we typically see during earnings reporting season. So you're going to have a lot of individual movers kind of offsetting other individual movers. Overall, each group, though, pretty one-directional as far as movement goes today. The banking sector financials will start off here, really limiting, this bounce the market's trying to attempt at here. Schwab, we have SYF, LNC, and PFG. 4% to 5.5% downside. Industrials also in the red so far today. All the airlines here very negative so far, 1.5 to about 2.5% in negative territory. ROP standing out. That was an earnings name. 4.8% in negative territory. Healthcare stocks, technology stocks, offsetting that, heading back to the upside. There's Western Digital on the list today, 9% in positive territory. Juniper underneath that, JNPR, 3.5%. downside, so kind of erasing some of this. Skyworks reported QRVO kind of catching some strength from that, 3.8%, but 11.3% for SWKS. ENPH is on there as well, 3.2% to the downside. There's Biogen, we talked about that, 10% still. HOLX, DGX, and LH to name a few. 4.5 to 4 or 5% in positive territory for the healthcare group. So among the leaders so far individually. Far corner over there, Chatter here, CHTR, 6% downside, but Discovery and Viacom right beside that in the communication group, offsetting that. So those are little change so far. We are red still, but only 0.5% now. Let's go back to Neil.
Thank you very much, Brendan. Market did try to, I mean, the NASDAQ did try to burst through that high day, didn't do so. So I was looking at Facebook. If we took that high, I might take that one off the bottom. I do actually, and we have different types of stop orders. There is one that we can favor sometimes, which does show up my charts. You can actually see BlackBerry put this one in about 10 minutes or so ago. 16 even. If we break through that, we're going to take that one to the long side. I was just also looking at, we talked about Palantir a second ago. I was just looking back over at GameStop and again, bounced off 300. But each time it bounces, it's like more shallow, more shallow. These wicks are getting a little bit thin, at least in terms of the top end here. And I kind of feel like if we actually at some point hold a higher low, or maybe we actually get this like 225 to have a bit of a level, we'll take a quick look at it. Sundial just broke to that upside, so actually just got a bit of a long on Sundial. We've been shorting this one pretty much all morning, but there's a 77 trigger. Dark pool got me filled, so I was using the other one. You know what? It's in the consolidation range, so normally I would just say, whatever, we'll just get it out wherever we can. But because there is cover at that 75 level, I'll probably just hang on to this. I was going to take this when it moved another half cent anyway, so I'll look to see it. And if there's any size in level 2, like if I saw something standing in our way here, and it's only 100,000 shares at 77. If there was something really crazy on that offer, I'd probably lighten the position, wait for that to break, or maybe punch some shares that took it out. I told you guys before that 78 to 80, well, 80 even was going to be a bit of a wall. At least I think it might be. So I'm definitely going to have some orders in front of that. I like to get them out there just on the off chance that it goes while I'm not watching, while I'm doing something else. You just want to be prepared that you have your orders to take some profit. If you're doing scalping the way that we do, that's just one of the tricks of the trade we try to work with. I thought, you guys pointed this one out here, and I thought maybe Palantir was going to give you that break. It was up at 37.80 when I think somebody in the chat pointed this out. I'm glad they did. It's also pulling back here, and there might be a, there might be a VWAP bounce play, or even, this would be even better actually if it would have hold 37.30 here. This would have been that previous pre-market high. You get a pullback on the opening range, and it can't break through, and then suddenly that becomes a support level. I love when those happen. And now that I talked that one out, I kind of like that one enough to be able to take it. So out with the breakout trade, I'll just take a little bit of shares right here and see if we can hold the line at that 37.30. Maybe give it all the way back to the quarter for half of it, and then 37 even for the other half. On the offer right now is that 37 in Sundial. Like I said, I got into that 76.29 on a weird trigger. It's not a huge level, so I'm going to hold through it. If 75 breaks, we can always get out. If it breaks through, my orders are now placed above, so the momentum will get me out on its own.
Okay. Did I put my mic back on? Yes, I did. Okay. Oh, thank you so much. Did you see this super chat here, Neil? I don't know. If
I didn't know.
Okay. Gav, thank you so much. Yeah, 100 pounds there. Thank you so much. Up what? Up 60 grand on GameStop and AMC today. Can't thank you guys enough. Well, that's a big thank you. So we thank you, my friend Gav Dugdale there. Thank you so much. A beautiful super chat. And these are the kind of numbers we're talking about, baby. Thank you so much. Great super chat. Thank you so much. And I'm glad that you're learning a little bit from us, but you must be learning a lot, because that's some confidence right there for that kind of a trade. 60 grand, wowzers. And there's another one. Thank you, Neil, Sean, and Brendan. Brendan's makes trading team easy, not overwhelming. And I mean, that's the whole point of the show, right? I worked with Day Trade the World and opened up a lot of offices worldwide. And the number one thing that people wanted was, Sean, show us trading. Show us how you trade. So we came up with this idea for the show. Neil hopped on board. That's been one of the best additions. Brendan giving you guys the news. And here we are, the best trading show on YouTube, the most watched trading show on YouTube, and we're the freest show on YouTube as well. So let's just keep this party going to the high side right now. We don't turn off the cameras at 9:30. We show all of our trades. We don't charge anything after a certain time. There's nothing you can even buy from us. It's a $5 thank you membership that gets you to our AMA, which happens, oh crap, is that this next Monday? I don't even know when it is, but every other Monday you get to talk to us.
That's how crazy this week has been. I actually don't remember which one it is. I just wanted to show you guys level 2, Sean. I know you were looking at that Sundial 77 break. Somebody just, look, it was a big order, bigger order than at 77. Someone threw a big one at 76.7 or so that got taken out. I'm talking instantly, guys. So somebody either just covered a big long or just got short. The momentum through 77, I wanted it to get me out on the north side, so you already see some here at 78. I picked this up at 76.3. Let's see if we can't get to that 80 level to the upside. But I want to make sure you guys know that somebody, I'm not saying they took a bet to the long side there. I mean, it could have been covering. Look, they didn't get out of a long. They could have been actually putting a short on either way, but it was a massive order that just got taken out. And there's BlackBerry broke 16 at the top, guys.
Did it? Okay, what? I should have gone. Oh, no, it didn't break yet. Okay.
It's not going, though.
Yeah, so I'll put this in there as well. You guys want to get a hold of us? We just talked about what was happening there on Instagram and whatnot. Here's my Instagram handle, @TraderTVSean. I'm actually, whoops. Oh, this is the fleet today. A pretty sick fleet going off. There's some nice music. I can't really play it for you, but go over to my Instagram and you'll see a story and a fleet today off of that. But go Pack Go. Here's my darling, and unfortunately, I guess we'll be wearing. She switched real quick because my brother's favorite team is Tampa Bay. So she was like wearing Tampa Bay gear by halftime. So thanks for that.
Wow.
But join us there. You can ask us some stuff about Mr. Wonderful. Oh, here's my man. What's up to my man there, Baron? Happy 9th birthday, my friend. Daddy's coming home soon enough, not soon enough. And we have some more skating planned today. And then we will see my parents on the side because, again, we have to stay 100,000 feet away from each other right now, and that's just a joke. I think it's 6 feet away. There it is again. Neil, I know you want to say something, but let me just say thank you again to Motley for a new member. Thank you so much to Gav Dugdale again there. I meant this week up 60 grand. Hey, who cares? Day, week, that's a salary. And then thank you so much to David Blakelock for hosting and this great community. You rock, guys. And like we said, Neil just keeps saying it. I keep saying it as well. We're something without you, but we're so much more with you, right? So thank you so much to everybody there. Follow us on Insta and on Twitter, guys.
Absolutely. And like we said a couple times here, we're trying our best and talking through it. We take breaths when we can. We take water breaks when we can. No bathroom breaks today because there's been entirely too much action. That's just how it's going to be. Sometimes you got to be glued to that seat. BlackBerry did break that 16. Now, it dipped down to 85, and just because and again, I can't show you live because it was a couple of seconds ago, but when it gets down there and then the offer has trouble sort of trailing down, I see some lack of velocity in terms of the tape when it gets down to that price. I usually like to reload, or if I've gotten some out, reload or add to the position if it looks like it's gearing up, shakes out a couple of hopefully weak hands. Now, if it retests 85 and goes through and the offer piles up and the momentum comes down, you just get out off that level. If now it breaks up and gives you that VWAP retracement, fantastic. Let's see what does happen. Palantir, it held 37 for now, but that break to the high, slowing down at least a little bit here. I got in at 34. Brendan, what's up?
Some actual news. CATB is a pharmaceutical stock. Catabasis Pharmaceuticals picking up this Quellis Biosciences in a deal today. Quellis, private company though, so heads up. But big move here, to say the least, for CATB. 180%, guys. Just had a huge volume blow off there through 750, all the way back through $7 for the CATB, guys.
I laugh at that volume blow off there. Okay, 90. So we did take. Oh yeah, I didn't put. You know what? I'm gonna put my fills back on for you guys. You guys can see AMC. Finally, AMC. Yes, sir. Diamond hands, not so diamond, but we are holding some AMC there to the long side. I'll show that chart in a minute. But here's Nokia. We reloaded there at 93. I mean, we averaged in. That's why you're going to see my average price 98. But we did take some more shares there. Let's see if we get some here, and then we'll see what happens at 5. There it is, a nice little one there. We'll belly dance that one off. We are working on new graphics for you guys as well. Good call on Palantir, Neil. I don't know if you went long or short, but that's 38 level was well spotted by you and by some people in the chat there.
I missed the name. It was someone in the chat mentioning.
No, I think they gave us. I called them out.
Okay,
so we did give them credit there. I think it was a $5 super chat telling us that Palantir makes them feel ways. I don't know if you remember that, but okay. So here it comes right back. Good call, and I'm going to give a shout out to whoever that was again on the chat that mentioned. Bang! We don't want to go too crazy right now, but I'm going to find that bang thing because we hold this AMC and bring us. I don't even. There it is. But. Bang, there it is. AMC to the high side right now. So we're getting feeling waves right now. Going long, we defend. That was our last buy, was all the way down there. I'm going to do something right now that I have to do because I love you guys in the community here. Turn that off. Sean, new member alert, and I apologize if I miss you. We already talked about David. Thank you so much for that. Chris, thank you so much. Super chat again. Love the show. I watch every morning. Big and tall. What up? Also, Atenium, thank you for becoming a member, guys. And again, we're doing the chat coming up with you guys. AMAs, man, you'll get the link there. Hope everyone has a blessed day. Thank you, Nick Silva, for the 5. And then thank you for the 5er right there. We're going to buy some, maybe we'll buy, maybe. It's too much sugar in those pistachio lattes, but damn, that was tasty. And damn, this is tasty as well with AMC straight up to the upside. $1 win on this one. Your boy is back. We breathe a little life into us again. Breathe, breathe, breathe. What's up, Brendo? Money Talks, my favorite segment, to be honest.
Hey guys, yeah, let's have a look at currency land, some crypto talk as well. Very strong right across the board here, which usually means, and is the case once again today, US dollar weakness coming back into play a bit. So you can see the euro, the Canadian dollar, 0.5% again today for the CAD. Back to the upside, British pound, even the Japanese yen, Swiss franc, all in positive territory. Australia, Turkey, downside a little bit, 0.5% there. New Zealand higher on the day. I want to talk about these though. Cryptos, Bitcoin, 20% move overnight after Elon added hashtag Bitcoin to his Twitter ID. So you can see we came in, this is that range we had on this chart from a couple weeks ago, 30 at the bottom, 34.5 at the top. Yeah, it smashed through that and then some, 38.5. The top of this latest move for Bitcoin, still up 11% here, back to 37,000 and change. Ethereum 3%, almost 1,400 again, and yeah, 9% move for Ripple. So all about cryptos today, guys. On this board, back to you.
Little tradition. If we come away from Brendan and he's good luck, and you saw he just came on the screen a couple minutes ago. BlackBerry was going nowhere on that 16 break. The second he opens his mouth, there it goes to the upside. So I talked about this getting to VWAP. I'll probably hold at least a little bit the last like 20% or 30%, something along those lines. Go with 20% on the top side of VWAP, just in case we can test this 1675 level. But either way, the offer did not trail back down. With broke 16, came back. It did not trail down very far, bounced off 85, so I took some more shares in at 90, 94, 95 area. Now we're getting all the way to VWAP, so there you go. Not too bad of a trade. You saw something make a nice little bottom here at 15, and then hold consolidation, hold it, higher lows to consecutively, and then we finally get that breakout. I do think there's a decent chance it's going to stall out here at 1675, so likely like 60 to 70 pennies is going to be the top end of the range for me, but scalping, I'll take that all day, every day here, guys. So BlackBerry, let's keep going.
Yeah, let's keep going. We're in BlackBerry as well. Give it to everybody right now. Now we're in a mood. So BlackBerry going up to the high side. We bust through that 16. We talked about that. I thought I wanted 16 more than this as well. Yeah, 1650 break. So now VWAP's arranged itself a little bit better. Let's see if we can't continue to go to the high side. I might, the action's great here, but I thought maybe a little bit more. So I'm going to lower the share size there. And I'm just going to keep on doing this. As AMC, guys, we're $1.50 now in the money on AMC. I can't even keep up with everybody here. Membership, Ali Fayed, thank you so much. We'll just keep going here. Eddie Chacon, thank you so much. Debs, what's up, Debs? Thank you so much for that. Ali Fayed, again, happy birthday to my boy. Yeah, I'm taking all this from you guys. So there you go. We'll run that out. The money there. All this going to my kid. Sarah, we're just joking. We split it up here and let's give it to the production team. John right here as well. Highlight, thank you so much for becoming a member. But right there, just a little bit of talk about, what we're doing for you. And you guys came correct with some of those super chats and some of those memberships. So blessed to have you guys on board with us as well. And there it is, guys. We did taking some off right now. Look, 79s, 80s, 85s, whatnot, 14, 1390 there. We just took some off on AMC. Look where we're long. Check the bottom. You can see what we're doing right now. We talked about having those hands down here. Our out was going to be 1180. Unfortunately, the hands are weak because we got out a lot here. We saw some problems. I just talk about that all the time. Okay, I see what you guys are doing. We're putting on little ones. I'm still going to shout you out. What up, Richard Sanchez there, and highlight too. So big time thank you from all the viewers. I
do believe, and just a clarification, it is the 11th. February 11th is the next Q&A session, so do tune in for that if you get a chance. It is not this upcoming Monday, so I just want to make sure everybody does know that is the case. I just saw you guys talking. I saw you guys talking about Vaxart. I can't remember the last time I looked at it. It was probably only a couple of weeks ago, but yet another one going parabolic to the upside. It's actually pretty orderly if you want to be honest about it, but it is breaking through that 1075 or 1070 area. If you look at the daily chart, I like to go to this higher time frame, and this is a play that I'll usually take. if it had broken here and not gotten through that 11, which it just did, maybe even if it doesn't extend through 11.25, I would think about shorting it on the way back through this 11 area, just considering a bit of a failed breakout. That hasn't happened yet, but I got my eyes on this one just now, unless there's something news-wise that I'm not aware of here that's taking it up. If it's on nothing, which it seems like I don't know any news, I would look to see if there's a retracement. It just at this velocity, some people would have gone long on that break of 11. I would like to see if it breaks down below, might trigger some stops, quick little short, back into like a 10.75 and then 10.50 to the downside. So it's that time of day where I look for a play like that. That is the game plan. Sundial trying to continue that breakout. If it gets through 75, I'll be out. It does look like it's run out of some steam. And speaking of that, Naked Brands just tried to push back up the VWAP itself before reversing. I've gotten away from that one, and it's been by far my best stock today. I'm going to jump back over to Naked Brands in the event that it cannot break 190. It looks like it'll be a short below that price, guys.
Okay, so some news coming here. GameStop, the third largest short position behind Tesla and Apple. That's just by value, not by share size.
Yeah,
GameStop market-to-market year-to-date losses for short sellers, $20 billion from S3 Partners. So congratulations, guys. You guys definitely beat Wall Street today and this week, the last month for sure. Frank is trading, and Frank is trading quite nicely since he subscribed. So it's a $5 subscription, and you made 10K. Not bad for that again. And it's not a subscription; it's just to get more access to us. Okay, we're not going to talk about Obama or Clinton there, but thank you for the $20, and then Richard Sanchez as well, guys. Anyways, we'll just go on that one. We'll keep talking for you more. Nokia now making new highs right here, so we're going to watch out for $5 coming through now. That's a little bit of a slippery slope, but we've got this long right now at 96. You can get it with me right now. We held strong. It's 505. I was using this bottom, did not break, so we're all good right there. We averaged back in at 92, 93 there on this trade, so that was a good one for us. Naked Brands not doing anything. We're holding light on Naked Brands. Still this breakout. We're going to see if it happens again. I want to watch it. That's why we're doing that. And then BlackBerry, Neil. I'm glad I got some out here at 40, but we did resist that VWAP up there at 30. So let's just watch out what happens now with BlackBerry. I don't want to turn this winner into a loser, so I'm looking kind of where I think you're long sub 16, but yeah.
I'm looking to pick more up if it dips. If it holds 16,
60.
Like it has to, if it bounces off 16, I'd like to pick some more shares up. If it crashes through, I'll just get out. But if it holds the line above that top end of the range where it broke to VWAP, then I would get some more shares. But like you said, it probably does have to break 1650 before you get any like bigger momentum into it. Just worthy of noting here, AMC just bounced off VWAP, so it looks like it picked up a bounce on that last little dip.
Okay, good. And all right, so we just took a little bit more off AMC. I'm looking to think about, I'm not looking to think, I am thinking about where else do we want to go long. I'm going to take off these fills again for you just quickly so you can see a little bit here what we're talking about. This level halted again, not halted, the stock halted to go up, stopped moving up. I don't want to say the word halt. AMC's not halted. You can see we're live right now on that. And again, I'll just quickly do this. AMC to the moon. Thank you so much for that, Caesar. New member alert, Brendan. New member, Adaptive Gaming. And then UGA Bulldog, University of Georgia Bulldog. What's up? Yeah, go Bulldogs there versus, I guess, not cheering for Bama, I guess, as we go through there. Roll Crimson Tide, but okay, 14-17. Nah, I'm not a fan of either. I mean, I'm more a fan of Alabama because of the running backs that have come out of there lately. And a big shout out to my Green
Todd Gurley chopped liver, man? The Georgia backs.
They're both
Swift.
I was going to say, Neil, before we went on the Todd Gurley little rant there,
don't get me upset.
was that I throw it back to Eddie Lacy because of the Green Bay days.
Fair enough.
But he was honestly a little bit disappointing. But okay, let's just move on now. That's AMC. Thank you for all the support, guys. We love football. Me and Neil are in a football pool that I think goes back 20 plus years. If you're just joining us for the first time, Neil and I friends from grade school.
Yeah, you're probably right. It probably is that old. I have to point out for you guys because I know. GameStop is a stock you guys are all watching here. It did creep off that 300. Wow, that was probably pretty good. I mean, imagine actually getting into that trade at 305 would have been pretty solid. And instead of talking about it, I'm watching 350 once again. I did have that break a little bit earlier. I had it short at 350, and then I had a long at 350, which half worked, I want to say. But this looks like, look, and it's been creeping to the upside here. I'm going to look for that break. As long as we've held these lows at like 320, 330, when we try to take this 350 out, again, just going to look. This time, if I see 360, 375 in my face, I'm just going to take the profit and run instead of trying to hit the home run trade there. It is already 11 o'clock. Filling in for Ms. V this week, of course, is Brennan at the big screen for our European update.
Hey guys, yeah, it is Europe time. One more day of Europe with me, and then hopefully, fingers crossed, Valeria is back. Monday, she will be remote because she'll be quarantining, but we'll hopefully have Miss V back for you. That's exciting on Monday. Pretty red, guys, on the European side of things, right across the board here. The FTSE 1+%, the DAX in Germany 1%. You get the story. The CAC in France 1.2% to the downside. Spain is red. Russia is red. I mean, the whole board is pretty negative right across the board. Specifically, travel stocks. If you're looking for any individual names over in Europe to kind of focus in on as we head to just under 30 minutes to go before the close over in Europe. Specifically, travel stocks, automakers, any of the airline makers also getting hurt today, along with their U.S. counterparts. But yeah, 1+% for the most part, top to bottom here, guys, for Europe. Back over to you.
Okay, I said that I was, so, you know, you can go to any of our Instagrams at all, well, actually, just mine, at TraderTV, Sean. But this is what we're talking about. We had a celebration here on New Year's. Here's Valeria, so a big shout out. I told her to send us pictures, right, guys, from Russia, but none of those right there. So happy 2021. Neil, myself, Brendan, very excited there as well. But that's Valeria, so she'll be coming back on Monday via Zoom because of the quarantining that has to happen, obviously, in Canada. And I believe pretty much all over the world, you got to quarantine if you do travel. But she went back home to Mother Russia, and good for her to do that. And we welcome her with open arms, obviously, back. And Valeria's been with us since day one as well. So the chat, Maestress, I think, was that what we were calling her? I don't remember. I don't know. Who knows? Maestro, I guess.
Maestra.
Yeah, who knows? I don't know if that's a gender thing on the Maestro, but we'll see. Thank you to Valeria again for all the work that she does, keeping everything up and going, and she'll be back. But okay, Neil. Here we go. AMC trying to break 14. Let's see if it happens.
Yeah, I mean, of course, these might move in tandem. Maybe they will, maybe they won't. But GameStop is off of that 350. It's down to 340. I'm still waiting for the breakout trade there. Someone was asking about American Airlines, so I just saw it a couple of times in there. I know we've sort of ignored it. I did mention, of course, look, they had the earnings and they weren't fantastic. And then you had the gap to the upside because and the push because of the squeeze. It's been selling off all morning long. I just don't see any reason not to wait until like a 17 area actually holds for a test, maybe get into something for the long side. I don't love the airlines specifically, but if you do get a chance at a breakout, if anything starts running to the upside, any like parabolic squeeze type plays start happening, you might be thinking about like AEL 1805 to like 1850. Break through that price range, and then maybe it can get going. It's been all kinds of sleepy. I want to be able to say we're ignoring it for a reason, because it's just not doing much of anything, and there's not much of a day trade when you see this kind of consolidation. It feels like most of the volatility is might actually be out of this one. If it breaks through that price range I mentioned, that could certainly change rather quickly. So we talk about our winners and our losers here. This out. Well, that's not very good in Boeing. We talked about the breakdown here. Finally play the weakness on the 200 for the first time in like 3 times I saw this trade, and then I get wicked out of it. And then there goes Boeing to the downside, so it is what it is. At least the bias was right. I mean, I don't know. That's about all I can say about that, guys. I do want to remind everybody, and you're going to see that out on that chart and say to yourself, yeah, but that's ridiculous. However, risk management is kind of a thing here. We have done a video on it, and I only say this now because when I got into that trade, you would have heard me say I'm going to have a tight stop because it's a breakdown trade, right? So I defined what the trade was going to be. I knew what my I was going to be, so the direction can be right, but you have to have a trade, not just a direction and an entry price. So you put it all together. That's what we tried to do in this video for you. There can be different styles of trades. You want to make sure you structure it correctly. So check that out in the Market Wisdom page. Had I been doing a different style where I'm rolling over into a consolidation, I probably would have had this at like 250, giving it all the way to like a 201 or the high of the day, and certainly I'd be participating in this move to the downside now, but it was a breakdown trade, different parameters. That's why I got out of it, guys.
Yeah, and good talk there, of course, by Neil. And okay, so thank you we were talking about that one. Roberto, thank you for coming out. And then another one here by D. Johnson. Thank you so much. Not trying to one-up the guy, but following on my tweet, I sent you with some cash. Big thanks to Neil Brennan for your support on Palantir AMC. Most I ever made in a day. Hallelujah. 76,000. Ring that register, D. Johnson. Congratulations, man. I mean, these are life. I don't know about you guys. I don't know how much everybody makes or anything like that. But these are life-changing numbers for some of our members, I'm sure. And if it's not, it doesn't matter. You're making the trades. I just want to say big ups to everybody that's living life right now and living limitless as well. Thank you for joining up. And thank you for those 3 super chats right up there. Very, very kind. Very kind for everybody's super chat. And like you said there, Neil, we all don't care whether it's $5 or $100. I mean, I care. I want it to be 100 every time. But we are more about, the community, teaching you guys. That's why the show is free. We could slap on here like $10 a month, and I'm sure everybody would still pay that to watch the show. But we don't want to do that. We want to share the love, give it to people. I kind of feel like we're like Robinhood, except for we're never going to shut down. We're never going to say, oh, the market's too good now. No Trader TV Live. We're going to be here forever. You want to democratize trading? We're doing it on the YouTube side of things right now. So yeah, thank you for everything, and thank you for the love.
Absolutely. You can't say that enough. The word that comes to my mind is humbling, right? So it's just to see the success that you guys have. It's a lot of fun. I think the best way to put it is no matter how this plays, I don't forget who said it, and it might have been Chamath, but no matter how this plays out, certainly squeezes can come back down, between bag holders, all that kind of stuff. But overall, if a bunch of new people who are young, who weren't looking at the markets before, are now taking a look at it, are planning for their futures, are understanding the way that these things work out, that's a net good at the end of the day. And I don't care what anybody says, that will mean that most of this will be a positive. If regulatory change comes out of it, certainly that can be a positive to, you saw what happened yesterday. Hopefully that kind of thing never happens again. So if that happens, that's another positive. I don't know if this is going to be a positive, but just going to go back to this EXPR. I briefly mentioned this off of the 7 even area earlier when it post-halted. It's now holding this 6 level, so we said if it makes a bit of a bottom, watch out for some of these afternoon runs. I'd actually put that at like a 650 now instead of waiting for 7 even, so it's sort of gearing up itself. There's a few of these you want to pile away into your back pocket or whatever you want to call it for those afternoon type plays to the upside. Just to come back over, I know you guys want to talk and look at GameStop. I didn't think we'd have a shot to break that 350. Now it's really come off of that level here. I really wanted to see if it could hold this 320, which it's trying to do now, guys. And it's kind of weird because the only reason I'm going to hit this one is we actually did a video on GameStop where I talked about buying the dips. So you can watch the video, check it out at some point. Certainly, it actually probably applies to most parabolic movers that have multiple halts. So with that, it's worth a watch. You can learn a little bit more, not just about GameStop in particular, but trading some of these higher flyer names. If this pushes into 300 again or down to this 290 low, if it halts into that type of a move, or you see like a 1 candle flush into it, just way too much momentum, I don't know at this time of day if I'd want to be playing it because of that failure it just put into 350. So, I mean, earlier on, I would have thought about that defense, and certainly it worked out a couple times when I was talking about it and not doing it. I would be cautious doing it, right around lunchtime if it's too rapid of a flush into it, and if it breaks it, certainly I'd hold off on doing anything because it's likely to halt on a break of that level. So just caution on any push into 300 to 290, at least at this particular time after it just rejected 350. Brendan, what's up, bud?
I just saw this one fly across the screen here. Sino Global Shipping, which is SINO, currently halted, up 54%. It's been halted a couple of times already. The only thing I can see is they announced a new chief operating officer in the pre-market. That was out at 8:30. Nothing since, but we'll keep looking here. Big volume spike on SINO, guys.
Okay, a big thank you. Over 12,000 people watching right now. Let's see if we can. If you haven't hit the like yet, if you not sending the super chat, doesn't matter. Send the likes, guys. Share this with everybody. You're seeing on our chat that people are making lots of money in this market, and we just want to say it's not about the cash, it's just about the love. Share the site, share everything. We do have coming up again another big guest for you. He's coming back. Michael Arbach, Submersive Capital. here to talk with Brendan. Some new ideas, some new things happening over there with Submersive. He's been on before, so very, very interesting guest coming up in just a matter of minutes right now with Brendan. So, you know what? Look, it looks like Nokia, we will fall on our face here on Nokia a little bit. We tried to get this thing going today. Well, we didn't try to get it. Okay, it just went up 3 cents there, but okay, now it's just bouncing. So we'll watch out for Nokia here.
Sean, volume spike on Sundial here. I mean, I just told you guys, this is why I like to have my orders out. It just spiked off that 75 stop, and then boom to the upside. There's that 78, 79. Now, I anticipated there would be some resistance at 80. For the time being, it looks like it's going semi-parabolic, and I'm going to hang on to the final third, guys. That's why you see no offers out here. If it halts upside, whatever, we got 76 to the bottom. We were waiting for this to break out of this range. I did scalp some before, but there is the pop on Sundial. Sometimes you got to lay in the weeds and allow these things to happen. We'll line that one up and knock it dead. And I try to hit this one once a day because, candidly speaking, I'm probably the worst bowler you've ever seen in your life. I need those gutter guards almost every single time. Whoa, it's not going. It's going
I'm
crazy.
actually a pretty good bowler.
I'm covering this. I'm covering this.
What is going on with S&P?
I don't know what's going on with this, and I just got some at 84, and then it slammed back down. And my next fill, let's see if it comes back up to 83 there. But we're talking 76, 10% in the middle of the day out of nowhere. I don't know what just happened on Sundial, but if you don't think this is exciting, I don't know what to say, guys. And look. D. Johnson, I'm just going to call you Don Johnson because, you know, I'm a fan of a certain show. 160 this month. No, you rock. We love you guys. This is a heck of a lot of fun to do. At times, we got to remember to breathe and take a minute. And, you know, on top of that, and we don't say this enough, and I know you guys are excited, the market's moving, all of that. But we also get some fantastic guests, and it's a good opportunity to learn about not just day trading, not just like swing trading, but new sectors, new ideas. Believe me, this is crucial to everybody's development as investors and traders. You always want to be learning new things, not just what you're good at. And I know we stick to what we're good at with trading, but we sit here tuned to these guests because they're fantastic. But I don't know what's going on in Sundial, guys. I'm definitely going to hold at least some of this because on the off chance it hits that 90, you might as well have some on board.
Might as well, yeah, that's for damn sure. And again, guys, so humbling today. Nick Silva, thank you so much for becoming a member. Damos TV, thank you so much as well. And then Grigor, thank you, guys. 6 months ago, I was thinking of starting day trading. You made it into reality. So thank you so much for being the spark plug, that fire in me. Hey, I'm hoping that I'm giving some fire here for you guys as well. So, I mean, you can see the passion that's obviously here from me. I've been doing this 19 years. So thank you so much. Happy Friday from NC. Bang! You're right about that one. And then there you go. More credit to their D. Johnson. What it up, my friend. How about Dustin Johnson as well, winning the Masters this year in easy fashion. So good namesake there. But okay, Nokia down. We dumped that one off. Someone said about a reversal in Nokia. I do like that idea.
Yeah, and look, I might have got top wick on that Sundial move, but every now and then it's just gonna. And I literally just talked about doing new things. Anybody that's been following this show for even just like the last couple of months, there was like a 2-week period where I was basically shorting Sundial every single day. And it was probably my best stock on the show. And, you know, today it's just you go with the price action, you see what's actually happening on the stock. And it was because I was in this short off 76 and saw what happened at 72 that I had a tight stop for the long and wanted to get into that long position. It was just, you see the resistance and being in the trade actually helped. That's why we're telling you guys what we see on level 2 and the positions we're taking, because it might just trigger something, you might learn something, it might help your trade, which could be the other side. Maybe going in the opposite direction. Maybe you've been holding something on a swing. It doesn't matter. Knowledge is knowledge. It does feel like this might be turning around a little bit. So I will trim it a little bit more here just because it really looks like it's fading off that 85 level. And I don't want to give it all the way back to like a 75, but I'll probably give it down to VWAP 79, see if it can't catch a bit of a bounce, and then hold this Sundial long.
Yeah, just looking here at what's happening on some of these names. And again, very, very humbling today. I think Neil said that word a couple times, guys. You guys have been great. Great support of energy. And yeah, the chat's been, there it is. I mean, I just started talking again, and there's another super chat. Goo music, or is it Go music? Thank you so much for that there. They're coming everywhere now. Thank you for the 198 Hong Kong dollars there. We will find out. again, just very great day for us here, and I hope that you guys are doing it as well. Some big numbers from our viewers, and congratulations to everybody for sure. Okay, so BlackBerry, we'll put back on our fills here just to show you guys. I think Neil and I both still long BlackBerry. I like it.
I'm
I
out.
got you.
I'm out, sorry.
15.95 to the bottom. Watch out for that. But just letting you know that we still have the BlackBerry. We're pretty light on AMC. But without any further ado, it's time for our guest of the day, and we throw it back to Brendan.
All right, guys, Subversive Capital, leading investment firm with specific focus in the cannabis space, recently completing their merger and successful debut of the parent company. You remember, check out Graham.u. Michael Arbach is founder of Subversive Capital, back with us again today with more exciting news. Michael, great to see you once again. Welcome back. Tell us about this latest venture.
Well, thank you so much for having me, and thanks for the support and having me on. So, yeah, today, last week we announced the acquisition of, or the business combination with Intercure, Intercure Limited, which is an Israeli cannabis platform, publicly traded on the Tel Aviv Stock Exchange, operating under the name Canndoc. It's Israel's fastest growing and most profitable cannabis company. The Q4 2020 expected EBITDA annualized run rate of greater than $10 million and positive free cash flow as of Q3 of last year. They've doubled revenue quarter over quarter for the past 5 quarters, and have a really progressive operational platform. Just one of the only profitable cannabis companies outside of North America. And so we couldn't be more thrilled with the combination. And we anticipate closing sometime in April, where these shares will be traded on the NASDAQ after closing. So we couldn't be more excited with the transaction.
Fantastic. So first off, a couple things to get through here. Let's talk about Canndoc itself. The platform, tell us about that, how it's set up, how it works, and how consumers can take advantage of this.
Sure. So Canndoc is a licensed producer of cannabis. So they produce cannabis, they manufacture and distribute cannabis for medical purposes through one of the oldest medical marijuana regimes in the world, which is Israel. What some people don't know is actually it was Dr. Meshulam at Hebrew University that discovered the THC compound back in the 60s. So Israel has a sort of a long-standing history with cannabis, and one of the oldest, most robust medical marijuana platforms in the world. And also in November of 2020, the Justice Department came out with a recommendation to legalize adult use. The interesting thing about Israel compared to other jurisdictions which have legalized, there's no stigma around cannabis. The plurality of the Israeli population of 9 million is fine with cannabis and uses cannabis both through the medical platform and through the illicit market. And so, legalizing adult use creates a $2 billion platform just in Israel. And, Canndoc has a significant share currently of the medical market, which grew 40% in 2020. And they have 15% of the branded market currently. And so with $225 million in trust and our $65 million private placement that we've closed, with that balance sheet, they're the clear winner in Israel to consolidate and dominate that market.
Let's talk a little bit about the stock itself, currently traded in Toronto and on the OTC markets in the U.S., svx.u. If you want to pull up the symbol, you can see the rest at the bottom there, guys, if you want to have a look at them. Typically, when we talk about SPACs, the exchanges or the exchange that the actual listing is on doesn't change, but we do get that shift in the actual symbology and the symbol of the company when it does start to trade under its own symbol. Were there any complications when it comes to going from the Canadian exchange to the NASDAQ? How did that work?
Yeah, so we're not on the NASDAQ currently. So the way that we plan to do it is that currently Intercure is traded on the Tel Aviv Stock Exchange, and we're traded on the NEO Exchange and the OTC. And so after the business combination is complete, which we're anticipating sometime in April, we will remain listed on the Canadian, the Israeli, and the NASDAQ. And then eventually it will just be the NASDAQ listing. And so what a lot of investors are planning on doing that, represented to me is that, through this process, if they know that the end game post-closing is going to be the NASDAQ listing, they much rather be able to trade into the NASDAQ liquidity as opposed to where it currently stands on the OTC.
So the important...
this is the it's unique. It's the first first time that something like this has happened. There is precedent for a SPAC to buy a public company. And actually precedent in Israel, there was a SPAC, Haymaker Acquisition Corp, that bought Arco through a SPAC transaction a couple of months ago. And so we have the precedent for it. And, frankly, there's just no ARB. And so what ends up happening is that the Tel Aviv Stock Exchange listed company has already gone up about 50%. That'll probably settle at about a 20% discount to what we're buying the company at. And so, then, once we're on the NASDAQ, those two listings the Tel Aviv Stock Exchange and the NASDAQ listing will settle out.
So for those wondering, and this is why we bring this up because it is, a rare occurrence, for those wondering and those maybe investing or wanting to invest in the actual transaction, it really doesn't matter which shares you can invest in. They will all be consolidated.
So yes, they'll all be consolidated under one name and one ticker. It will be on the Tel Aviv Stock Exchange and on the NASDAQ, and it'll be the same ticker, and you'll be able to trade on both exchanges. But the vast majority of trades will happen on the NASDAQ. Obviously, it's a more liquid market than the Tel Aviv Stock Exchange. But the best opportunity for our investors currently is to buy on the NEO Exchange and the OTC, the SVX.U and the SBVRF ticker, because those shares will convert to NASDAQ shares on closing.
There we go. And do we have a symbol for that at this point or no?
Yeah. On the NASDAQ,
yes.
No. It'll be some version of Intercure. So it'll be similar. We've requested it to FINRA, and so we'll be announcing what that ticker will be in the coming weeks.
Great stuff. Let's talk about CanDoc a little bit here. When it comes to the actual specific marketplaces that the company is focused on right now, tell us a little bit about, we're obviously in Israel to start things off. Is there plans in the future to expand that?
Yeah, so for now, they're very much concentrated on dominating the Israeli market. It's a best-in-class operation. They've partnered with and have partnerships with some of the leading cannabis operators globally. So they were the first ones to import GMP-grade cannabis. Israel is an entirely GMP-grade market, I think the only one in the world. And so they've imported cannabis from Tilray and from Afria, indoor cannabis from Organigram, and they even have a brand partnership with Cookies, which is a California-based brand where they've licensed the brand for packaging, and they plan to open a Cookies branded dispensary in Israel in the coming months, which is super exciting. In terms of Israel being an epicenter for both cultivation and R&D, lots of research on the medical space, lots of R&D on the delivery mechanisms and seeds and strains. There's a real sort of agricultural epicenter within Israel in terms of technology. And so we anticipate Israel to be sort of a real epicenter of innovation in this industry. And sort of next, step for the company would be, to sort of export both the cultivation assets, but also the R&D know-how into Europe and other parts of the global cannabis economy.
And as you said, one of the few profitable cannabis companies currently in the marketplace. Let's talk about how that occurs. Where does that revenue come from, and why has this company been so further ahead in that game compared to the rest of the group?
Yeah, I mean, they've been able to, one, with the partnerships in terms of their import. So they had products for people that when the LPs in Israel didn't. And so they were able to gain significant market share. They have a best-in-class cultivation center in both the north and the southern part of Israel that they've been scaling up. And their sort of cost of production, is extraordinarily competitive, best in class. They'll be disclosing sort of their cost per gram as we move through this process, which is very impressive. They've been a good fiduciary of their capital. This kind of reminds me of sort of Trulieve a couple of years ago. Just a very well-run business, focused on the bottom line, free cash flow, EBITDA positive. They are going to maintain that throughout the life cycle as they grow, and will be using the money in trust and the private placement to, finish scaling, in-country cultivation. There's some M&A transactions that are on the list, and to scale up brands as well in the country.
And there's a very experienced management team, which goes to, speaking, to the credibility and the longevity of a company like this. Tell us about that, including a former prime minister of Israel.
Yeah, so the company is chaired by a good, close personal friend, the former Prime Minister of Israel, Ehud Barak. What some people don't know is that I have a very close relationship with Israel. My wife is Israeli. My son was born in Israel. I've been traveling to Israel since I was a teenager, and have lived there on multiple occasions in my life. But for the past 7 or 8 years, I've been traveling to Israel in search of an investment in the cannabis industry. So I've met, every, cannabis operator in Israel, every licensed producer, have made some offers over the years. But Canndoc has really been the best in class and a company that I've always wanted to participate in an economic fashion. And the fact that we're able to, bring this back and this company together is really just I'm just absolutely thrilled about it. And, Ehud Barak, the former prime minister, a seasoned investor in his own right, is just somebody that has been so helpful to the company and its growth. His insight on both how the government operates in terms of, as we move from a medical regime to an adult use regime, that kind of advice and input is just unparalleled in the industry. And I couldn't be more thrilled to, end this transaction where I'll be sitting on the board with the former prime minister.
Michael Orbach, founder of Subversive Capital, announcing another exciting deal in the cannabis space with Canndoc coming over to Subversive to go public. It's a pleasure to have you as always, Michael.
Thank you.
Best of luck and more excitement to come.
Okay, thank you so much.
There
Have
we
a
go,
great
guys.
weekend, everyone.
You as well. Yeah, no, exciting news there, guys. Subversive Capital again and Canndoc teaming up in the cannabis space once again, guys.
Yes, sir. Yeah, good name there. Graham.U, another one. So Subversive and Graham.U, you just talked about them all going to the NASDAQ and whatnot. But the big day continues, guys, for us. As AMC touches 14, we get out there. And now we'll just wait to see if it can break through 14. We'll go long again if that does happen. But yeah, it's been a monster day here. I don't know if we have our earnings board coming up soon, but we'll welcome Valeria back on Monday via Zoom, hopefully. And then we'll see what happens moving forward. Wow, Workhorse, another name here that we haven't talked about too much at all this week, making new highs. I mean, it's new highs 40 all-time high, but there's another 10% up for Workhorse today, making beautiful bottoms in the EV space there. And you know what, Neil? We used to always talk about NEO, and we haven't. I don't even know the last time we made a trade on this.
We did for 2 seconds, and look, it's not ignoring literally one of the best day trading stocks of 2020, maybe the best. Tesla could be up there as well. Who knows? Palantir, Tesla, NEO, doesn't really matter. It's just that there's been other names to play, and this is great in terms of like a nice scalp, buy the dips kind of thing. I mean, I'm kind of interested if Luis in Barcelona, one of our regular guests, did well on this stock because it's trending upside, but the volatility's sort of been elsewhere. You see me stick to, and my top 2 stocks are going to literally be Naked Brands and Sundial, and that's why I'm sort of in the second half of the show sticking to them. There was that huge break, and obviously I was already in position when this happened. I mean, if I wasn't in position, I was looking at the 77 break, but I told you guys that I got into that one a little bit earlier, so it didn't add on the 77. I still have a little bit of this, really not much left. It stalled out basically the same place when we took the 82 break off the open, stalled out at around the same price, at 90, so that's why I'm usually going to take profit out in front of it. But it's looking like it has a second wind, and this 84, it's bounced a couple times, not even retraced to VWAP. This could get strong. Keep in mind the high of the day, 97 even, that dollar level, which can be psychological. I'm anticipating, and I could be wrong about this, we never really know, there might actually be just a monster order if it ever gets to $1. And if it's a couple of million shares, I've seen that before, I'll probably short in front of it. But I'm trying to hold on some of this to see if we can get a break. If it takes out 90 a second time, I'd probably take a breakout trade on Sundial on the way to that 97 high of the day. Brendan?
Yeah, guys, it's almost that time again. It's Friday, so there's nothing really terribly exciting as far as earnings tonight or even before the market opens on Monday. But coming up on Tuesday, it's worth mentioning, there's UPS, there's Alibaba, and Pfizer, XOM, even lots of the energy space coming through next week. So Alibaba coming up Tuesday morning next week before the market opens, guys.
I wanted to, those of you that know me, know that I've been on Alibaba for a while now. I don't know if earnings is going to matter. Our last buy of Alibaba was down here, 222. No, sorry, our last buy was in here, 230. We bought that with Greg here, and I tweeted that as well. Follow us all on Twitter to find out what we're posting. But 222 I bought some 230s. We initially started the position up here at 260. We found Jack Ma, so we don't have to worry about where Jack Ma is right now. But Alibaba earnings, I think, are going to be fantastic. Let's just see if some of the rhetoric that they've had to go through there has faded back down to their earnings. So I don't know if maybe some of the Chinese boycotted Alibaba or whatnot with some of the talk there. So we'll see what kind of effect the CPP has on this stock. But I like Alibaba. It's definitely a lagger. So that's why I think it could pick up some steam as we go. AMC, just to review it here, we just went long. We have all these crazy, I have, how many fills on AMC today? 200 fills. So we just bought that 70 level there.
That's a lot.
Let's see how high we can go.
200, that's a lot of fills for one symbol.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, like just a little bit, but I think Alibaba will have fine numbers. I mean, they're fundamentally, that's never been the issue, right? It's like you compare them to Amazon and they compare very favorably on almost every single metric. I had a quick little in and out when 14 tried to break on AMC, but it's done this party, like this dance, I should say, like 1, 2, 3 times. Look, eventually when it does go, and I'll keep trying it until it does for a breakout trade, just because when it does go, you're very likely to get that 15, 16. So I want to have that on board of momentum, or maybe if you dip down to VWAP again, there's another entry there. It has been an unbelievable week. I think we can all understand that. I'm happy that it seems like everyone's been able to trade all day today, at least for now. So hopefully that continues.
Don't jinx it.
Okay, I'm knocking on wood like with both my hands here. Apologies for if I jinxed that. But obviously you guys had a lot of fun. We've had a lot of fun and we enjoyed the support. Bigger things, better things in next month. It's been an unbelievable start to both to this month and this year. Certainly at the end of this month anyways. You know what we got to do? We got to get out of here. As much fun as we're having, watch out. There's still so much to trade for the rest of the day. And believe me, this is not going to slow down. So we'll stay trading. You guys stay trading and best of luck. For the entire team, for Ms. V, he'll be back via Zoom, hopefully next week. For Pratt, has been filling in, doing a fantastic job. For my man, Sean Katina, and happy birthday to Barrett. I can't believe he's already 9. That's crazy. He was just dancing around at my wedding yesterday.
Damn these old kids.
And for Brendan Wickens and a special guest, Michael Auerbach there, a fantastic interview as always. I'm Neil Roberts. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is Trader TV Live. We will see you next week. Good luck, guys. Bye-bye.